Well, a very good morning and good afternoon or good evening, everyone. I'm DJ Sean, that VR streamer, and my job here is to bring you as much simulated VR streaming as possible. And if you don't know who I am, if you head over to youtube.com/DJSean00 or jump on the Discord with the details below, we've got a fantastic little community there of people willing to help you out, get your VR running smoothly, no matter what game you like to play. Obviously, simulators are our passion. We do a whole heap of flying in X-Plane 11, as well as now I am finding myself getting back into DCS and very much enjoying that, even though I've pretty much forgotten everything. So expect a stream on that very, very soon. And we've been wetting our feet with a little bit of iRacing as well. So I dare say that might make an appearance at some point. So welcome to the stream, everyone. We do find ourselves here in Australia, in God's country. Those of you who know me well know that I am from Australia, and today our flight, what I was hoping to make a run to see if we could hit some weather, but I think it's going to start to burn off and start to fine up maybe a little bit before we get there. But today we find ourselves in the lovely city of Melbourne, Australia, down the bottom here, as you can see just here, and heading up to the nation's capital, which is Canberra. So it's going to be a pretty quick flight. This flight's not long at all. I think we get up to about 35,000 feet, or even 33,000 feet, I think, with the winds today, before we're pretty much coming straight back down into Canberra. But I'll have a chat about that in a little bit. We are here on the bay in the lovely Virgin Australia Zibo 737-800 on a very clear day here in Melbourne. If we zoom up right here, go all the way up, you can see the lovely city of Melbourne there in the background, but looking very dry otherwise. We are not using X-Enviro for the flight today, unfortunately. X-Enviro, while I really do enjoy flying with it, I very much am a VR converted pilot, and not being able to fly in VR for that long really does start to get to me. So we are using Ultra Weather XP connected to Active Sky, and we will fly using real world weather on VATSIM. Okay, so we are sitting here on the bay. The aircraft's just got the external power, so we'll go ahead now and get that fired up, and that's on. We'll leave the external power on for now, save some juice there for the APU. Go ahead and turn on the INS and get that aligning. We want to turn on the window heat, get that going. We don't need anything on U. Isolation valve on. Left and right packs can come on. And I think we're very, very lucky that through the magic wonder of technology, I don't know if I can do that to the English language, the aircraft is fueled up and zero fuel weight configured. So we'll go ahead now and turn on the chimes and turn on the fasten seatbelt signs and start the flight leg today. Hello, welcome to you. I just realised I never ever turn on my chatty program before stream. I always forget. Hello, welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing really, really well. There we go. I've now got my little chatty stream window there that I'll use for VR in just a few minutes. Okay, so that's booting up nicely. We'll have a little bit of a look here. Zoom out a little bit. Everything else is looking pretty good. We'll go ahead and pressurize the hydraulics now. Let's stay on. That might come off again because it hasn't got hydraulic pressure. Just a quick check there. The IRS is aligning. We'll hear a ding in just a few minutes. Oh, we've already got it. So down here, position initialization. So we are in Melbourne today. That's Yankee Mike Lima. And it gives us, south 44, east 144.50. It's going to be slightly different because our position on the gate will be different to the position of the airport, but that looks close enough over the route and into Melbourne. And look at that, that lovely speedy IRS alignment never gets old. We'll quickly go ahead and just set 4,900 on the altitude. That's a real world procedure there for the crew. Typically 5,000 feet out of Melbourne is what's issued, 4,900 just being 100 100 foot lower than a full altitude is a nice reminder to the crew that they haven't received their airways clearance yet. And unfortunately, there's no ATC online for us today, but that's not a problem. Hopefully, we won't get too delayed by it anyway. Okay, let's have a little bit of a look here. Where's the active sky? It's right there. And the conditions for us here at the moment, we've got a QNH of 1021. So we'll go ahead and set that up now. 1021, 1021. I was really hoping to make it over to the Flight Sim Expo this weekend, but unfortunately, coming from the other side of the planet is unfortunately not possible for me this time. So I definitely will try and make an effort for it for next year. Hello, Jim. Welcome to the stream, buddy. Hope you're doing really well. No DCS, unfortunately. We did play some DCS last night. Just getting back into the feel of things. Didn't end too well for one of us getting banned, but it's we are unbanned now, and everything will continue as normal. Okay, what do we want to do? We want to do our pre-flight check. So an oxygen test of 100% on this side. What in the world is Rond? Wouldn't it be the next country over? It will. I guess. Yeah. I guess if you look at it like that, it's just just a quick sail across the ocean there. It's not too far. Just 14 hours by flight. So. Nothing too bad. I think I've adjusted my volume levels in X-Plane, and I think it's really, really low. Let's just have a quick look here. Oh yes, there we go. Let's get some let's get some X-Plane sounds going. Only 14 hours. That's right. You can hang by your fingernails for 14 hours, can't you? Okay, quick check of the cargo fire test. Quick check of the engines and APU check there. We'll come over here and do another test of your oxygen side. Awesome. Go ahead and do a TCAS test now.
Adjust vertical speed.
Quick check of the manual gear extension handles. They're all in the locked position. A quick check of all the circuit breakers. Nothing looks like it's popped. Not that that's really modelled here, but we like to do a quick check anyway. That's all looking really good. Go ahead and do a light test here of the annunciators. That's a good check. Everything's lighting up. We do those separate because they're not part of the actual light test. So it's good to do a check of those just to make sure that they are working. And everything's lighting up really nicely here by the looks of it. Beautiful. Go ahead and do a GPWS test. Hey, Adler, hello, welcome to the stream. Hey, Rick, brother, good to see you. It's good to see you too. Hope you're doing really well. It has been a long time, but good to see you. Thanks for checking in, buddy. We're just we're wind shearing, but we're just doing a bit of a systems test here. First flight of the day for us, so it's always the checks are a little bit thorough, and you can never be too sure with all the Zibo patches getting punched out at the moment. It's always good to do a quick check, including a control check, so you don't end up at the end of the runway and can't pull up because you've corrupted your Zibo update. I'm not saying that happened to me, but yeah, I hope you're doing really, really well. Okay, quick check here. We're going to go up here now. Flight recorder, this should extinguish when we do the test, which it does. A quick check of the stool, the stick shaker on my side. It's shaking its ass off. A quick check of the stick shaker on your side, just shaking its ass off. And the overspeed. And the final check. Beautiful. The GPWS test does take a little while. Let's pull out the checklist here and have a little bit of a look. Is it done? No, it's not done. It's still going. All right, so let's do a bit of a test here. We'll do our first checklist, which is the pre-flight checklist. It's finished its test. Excellent. All good here. How are you liking the clarity of the S model? Every time I put it on, I am pleasantly surprised. Even though it looks tremendously different to the Rift. Every time I put it on, I'm like, yeah, this is much clearer. So yeah, it's a really nice step up. The thing I worry about something like a HP Reverb is it's a step up again, and not all of us have rocket machines or power-hungry, supercomputers that can run such high resolution. So something like the HP Reverb, if you don't, if you're flying single-engine planes in non-complex scenery without complex weather add-ons, yeah, okay, maybe the HP Reverb works. If you're flying Zibo into highly dense terrain, lots of weather and all that sort of stuff, which is what I do, you do need to find that balancing act. And I think the Rift S is really good in that regard. Okay, so the first check of today is the pre-flight checklist. That's tested 100%. The navigation, transfer, and display switches, that's this panel here. They're all normal, and this guy is on auto. The window heat, that's the 4 switches up the back there. They are all on. The pressurization mode selector, he's over here in the corner. He's on auto. And while I am here, I will do a very quick check, flight level tree 0 for us. This is where I like to go ahead and set that guy up so I don't forget. The flight instruments, we've got heading at 340 on my side, heading 340 on your side, 1021, 1021, 1021, giving us about 360 feet, which is 100 feet off. I don't know what's going on with X-Plane in Melbourne. I think it's got to do with flattening the airport or something like that, but they're all matching up, which is good enough for us. The parking brake is set, and the engine start levers are cut off. That's the pre-flight checklist complete. Okay, now it's time to have a little bit of a look at the flight plan here. So we'll go ahead and get this guy up just here. Okay, so we are operating velocity 269 from Melbourne through to Canberra on the 9th of June 2019. Holy crap, where is the year going? The trip time, it's just 45 minutes for us today, requiring about 2.4 tons of fuel. The standard 8-minute contingency there, which is another 300 kilos. We are carrying an alternate, which is Sydney. It's about 28 minutes away, requiring about 1.3 tons of fuel. I did chuck, the standard fixed reserve there of 30 minutes, which is another 1.2. So the minimum required is about 5.3, 5.4 tons of fuel. I did chuck an extra hour's holding fuel on it because we are online on VATSIM, and the weather was a little bit dodgy there in Canberra, so I wanted an hour up my sleeve so we could do a few missed approaches before we divert if we had to. So all up, we're looking at about 7.5 by the time, 7.6 by the time we blast off. There's a little bit there for the taxi. So on the bay here, we should be sitting with about 7.7, 7.8 tons, and as you can see there, 7.8 tons. Oz Flight Sim Edition, would you recommend I trade my Rift for a Rift S? Oz Flight Sim, I highly recommend you trade up. The change is night and day. Very much so. Hey, what do we got there? Astro, TJ saw a VR video you did on YouTube and had to follow. Student pilot here in the States, definitely want to learn more with the Sims. Well, welcome to the stream, buddy. Really glad that you got to catch a live one. Welcome. If you've got any questions, please shout out. You're a student pilot. This is probably a step up from a student pilot's license. We are talking about a commercial flight plan here, but if you've got any questions, please shout out. Okay, looking across here, so by the time we get to Canberra, we should have about 2 hours worth of fuel up our sleeve, or about 5.1 tons. Okay, we are really heavy today. We've got a zero fuel weight of 60.4 tons. With the fuel that we need for the flight, we've got another 7.8 tons we're adding onto that. So minus a little bit for the taxi, we estimate we'll burn about 175 kilos taxiing out to the out to the runway. We're going to be blasting off with a takeoff weight of 67. We'll just round up to 68 tons. Pretty heavy today. We're going to burn off about 2.4 on that flight, like we spoke about earlier, and be landing with about 65. We just round up 65.6 tons into Canberra. Those of you that know me well and the aircraft well, we have a maximum landing weight of this aircraft of 66.3 tons. We are blasting off with 67.9 tons, so we are over that quite substantially. So we just need to remember that for the departure briefing. Okay, we're due out at 0200 Zulu, so we are nice and early. We're actually going to be on time for this flight, maybe even leave a little bit earlier, which is unusual for me, and the schedule's got us landing in Canberra about 0320 Zulu. Okay, we're up to flight level 330 today, and the shear rate there is 4, so we know anything greater than 6 means we're going to have a few bumps in that cruise segment of the flight. Being 4, I do expect a couple of little bumps here here and there, and we'll probably see that on deeper down in the flight plan. The wind, once we get up to 33,000 feet, is 255 degrees at 108 knots. Woo-hoo-hoo. No wonder it's only 45 minutes to Canberra. We are definitely flying with the wind today. The alternate summary, this is pretty important for the flight today. Sydney is our primary alternate, Sydney, Australia. We've also got Melbourne and Adelaide. Adelaide's a total other direction. Anyway, we'll skip the contingency summary for now. Coming down here, this is the business end of the flight plan. You'll see me come back to this when we start configuring up the FMC, so I'm going to leave that alone for now. This guy just here, this is the actual flight plan. It lists all the waypoint, including our top of climb, any step climbs, top of descent, and all the important wind timing information, and the all-important fuel check information that you'll see me probably not refer to this too much during this short flight. I might cast my eyes over it a little bit, but you would definitely be doing checks every, in a two-man crew, you'd be definitely doing checks every waypoint just to confirm that your fuel usage is on track. Okay, this is the alternate flight plan. This is a plan from Canberra through to Sydney should we need to divert. And let's have a look at the weather. So the weather's pretty good here in Melbourne despite the gusty winds. So this observation was taken at 0010, so it's a little bit old now, but 360 at 21 knots, gusting 31 knots. Someone would say that's wind shear weather there, hey Steve-o. It's cav okay, so the ceiling and visibility is okay. It's just 12 degrees centigrade here in Melbourne with a dew point of 8, QNH 1021. From 0010, there is moderate turbulence forecasted below 5,000 feet. So we should expect a few bumps in the climb there. Looking at the forecast though, the wind's going to remain fairly gusty throughout the afternoon. Looking into the afternoon though, that wind continuing to swing around a little bit. The good visibility, rain moving in, and that's a cloud just there, 4,000 and scattered at 7. Looking much later on, again it's going to be quite gusty in Melbourne for a while with some more rain and showers moving throughout the area. And again, that inter is not active. That is active for later, where the weather's going to get quite bad much later on. Again, severe turbulence forecasted for Melbourne. More importantly, looking at Canberra, this observation was taken a little while ago as well. It was auto-generated, which means that the weather hasn't been adjusted by the hand of man. It's just a raw upload of the data that the sensors have got. Wind calm, that's never good for us. Visibility just 300 meters. Fog, overcast at 100 feet. Temperature 6, dew point 6. When you see that, you see overcast at 100 and you see the dew point matching the temperature, you're pretty much almost guaranteed some fog, and that's what we've got at the moment. I think, though, if we look at the forecast, you're going to see it start to fine up, and as you can see here through this, it is actually starting to burn off that fog in Canberra. So unfortunately, if we did this flight a couple of hours earlier, when I wasn't catching up on the F1s, we probably wouldn't have got in. But the fog looks like it might be starting to lift there in Canberra at the moment, but we should be expecting a potential go around or even diversion if we can't get into Canberra with that weather there. Hello, zoom out. Looking at where are we? Looking at Sydney here. This is our diversion point. It's 3-1. It's a light northerly wind in Sydney. Cav OK. Temperature 17. QNH 1024. They're expecting some gusty conditions pretty much now. Maybe not now, a little bit later on. So weather in Sydney is looking pretty good. Okay, look at this guy. This is our lovely coloured sideways view of our flight plan you can see here. So we're going from left to right. You can see that there's a fair bit of gusty wind and turbulence up there, and you can see this is why our shear rate is 4. On a longer flight, if we're able to get up to flight level 380 or 390 or even 400, the weather up there is quite gusty. So yeah, quite an interesting flight for us. And you can see we're starting down here in the bottom and heading up to the northeast. We are definitely travelling with the wind. Alrighty, and that's just the different flight levels for each of the wind. At each of the different flight levels. Okay, now that I put everyone to sleep, let's go ahead and get the aircraft configured for flight. So down here, we do want to go back to our flight plan, that page that we had before. This is Avitab, never leave home without it. I've got all my plans that get dumped in here. We're velocity 269 Melbourne to Canberra, and we want this guy just here. So this is our route. It's got us departing off runway 27. We'll see how we go with that with these gusting conditions. We might go round to 34, Dozel 9 through to Iran and the Poly 7 Alpha to Canberra runway 35. Just 287 nautical miles, and as I said, flight level tree 0. We're going to work our way along the bottom line here, and we'll go ahead and get started now. So YSCB for Canberra. We've got a route here of Melbourne to CBR1. Activate, execute. The weather here in Melbourne is quite gusty. I'm just going to confirm with Active Sky here. It's 360 at 20, gust and 30. So yeah, we're going to go to runway 34 for this. We're not going to go off 27, and we are velocity it's right there, 269. Over to the departure and arrivals page. It's runway 34, Dozel 9. Go ahead and execute that. We'll go through and confirm those waypoints very soon. Over to the performance initialization page. We've got a zero fuel weight of 60.4 today. Reserves of 2.5. We're going to adjust the cost index here to 50. At 20, we've got rather a slow climb in this Zibo aircraft today. 330, is our cruise altitude. 255 at 108 is the wind, and it's negative 45 once we get up there. Rather chindy. Okay, go ahead and execute that. The transition altitude in Australia going up is 10,000 feet. Coming down, the transition level is 110. Okay, that there. We'll do a 24k D rate and a standard climb up to the takeoff page. Our acceleration height we'll just do a 1500, and our thrust reduction height at the same as 1500. It's dry. 360 at 25 for the wind there. Over to you. We are flaps 5 for our departure with the CG of that gives us those numbers just there. 5 on the trim, which is pretty much set, and 150 on the climb out speed. So we'll go ahead and set that now. Heads down again. We want to go to the cruise page. It's 0.78 for the cruise for us, and 0.78/280 for the descent profile. That there. Over to the forecast page, 110 is the transition level on the way down. Go ahead and execute that. And we're going to be over the top of Canberra. We're landing in Canberra with about 6 tonne worth of fuel. Yeah, that's definitely high. We will be less than that when we get to Canberra. Okay, we're pretty much done with the flight plan now. We'll go ahead and get some charts up. Charts. No, that's not what I wanted to do. We want to go to airports. We are in Melbourne, YMML. Over to you. Airport chart. We'll get the airport chart up first. We'll get the departure chart, which is the Dozel 9. And I probably shouldn't have closed Avitab because I'm going to need that in a second again. And with that, it's going to be we'll set up for the RNAV back to 3-4. Okay. I might bring Avitab back up. Beautiful. There we are. That's the departure, which we'll confirm in a little bit. And we'll go ahead and get the aircraft. I'll chuck you down there for a second. We'll get the aircraft configured up for our flight. So flight director on my side is master, yours is slave. LNAV, VNAV. We'll adjust the heading bank selector, which is the rear one just there. This is actually 2-part gauge. You've got the heading selector in the front knob, and then you've got the bank angle selection from 10 degrees through to 30 in front there, 340 for us. There's no ATC online, but we'll set 5,000 over to RTO down here. 1141 is the VOR for Melbourne. We'll go set that just there. 2000's fine for that. We've got 114 on standby just there. We might put it on primary as well. There we go. That there. We'll turn terrain on my side. You're all set. You're all set. Yep, we'll go ahead and start the APU now. First start of the day. Engine start selected on the left ignition source. Okay, looking good. Okay, everyone, we're going to do a departure briefing now. So for those of you who haven't seen one of these before, you guys on the stream, you are my virtual FOs, which means that if you see me doing anything that's a bit out of the ordinary, or you think I'm doing it wrong, please definitely shout out and we'll have a chat about it. So we are over here operating a Virgin Australia Flight 269. Seatbelt signs on. They are on. Yes, ready to go. We'll turn that on now to go put some fresh bleed air on. And quickly get rid of the GPU. There we go. Okay, so we are operating Virgin Australia 269 today. This is pretending I understand any of this. Yes, I see. Yes. Jim, just you get credit for just sticking with me this far while we go through all this level of detail. Good morning for you, or late evening. Hello, Patton, and welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing really, really well. We're just getting started with the departure briefing, and then we'll lock up, get into VR, and get the hell out of here. Okay, so we are operating Velocity 269 here. We are on Bay Echo, or Pier Echo here. We're on Bay Echo 6. Now, I normally use Better Pushback, but since I've edited the scenery, every time I start Better Pushback and push back out of Melbourne, this one airport, my sim crashes. So we're going to be using the default X-plane pushback just for Melbourne. I don't know what I did, but anyway. So it's going to be pushed back. We get to control the pushback with the rudder pedal, so we'll try and swing it round. We don't get much pushback, but that's okay. So we'll be pushing back here onto Golf. It'll be Golf left down. Left on Alpha, which is this taxiway just down here, and we'll get off. We'll blast off on Juliet. So it is going to be a left-hand seat takeoff. It's a flaps 5 departure, dry conditions, and we are using a 24k D rate. So the engines are rated to 26k. We're doing a D rate to 24. Speaking of the takeoff, from 0 through to 80 knots, if I see anything I don't like, I'll make an assessment and decide what we do. From 80 knots through to V1, I'm only going to abort for an engine failure or loss of control of the aircraft. From V1, we're going to take the problem into the sky. Talking about taking the problem into the sky, this is chart 22-4, effective the 28th of February for the RNAV Zulu for runway 34. So what we'll do is we'll fly up, we'll make sure we get above 4,500. If we're struggling to get that, we definitely want to turn south, and we only have to get up as high as 3,700, and we'll just fly around and shoot the RNAV Zulu into 3-4. The wind is really good. The weather is really good here in Melbourne. It's cav okay. It's just gusty, so we might even just do a visual circuit and come back and land. For those of you that were with me during the departure briefing, the flight plan briefing, you know that we're about 1.5 tons over our max landing weight. So once we get up there, we can't come straight back and land. We're over that max landing weight, so we'll have to stay up there with the gear out, spoilers out, some flap out with a really high N1 power setting, and try and burn off some of that fuel before we land to try and get as close to that maximum landing weight as possible. If the situation doesn't allow it, we'll try and put the aircraft very smoothly back on the deck. Okay, if nothing does go tits up, we're going to be flying this guy just here. This is the Dozel 9 departure. It's chart 20-3 Charlie, effective the 15th of June 18. It has got a speed restriction of 250 knots below 10, and we are going to be heading off in a northerly direction to Rockdale. So we should see that, which is what we see on the ND here. It should be Rockdale, Sally, Dozel, Rockdale, Sally, and then right to Dozel, which it has got. There's no height restrictions or speed restrictions other than 250 below 10, so that's really easy for us. We've covered off the weather. There is some terrain north of the field, which you can see a couple of mountains just here, but we've covered that as well. That concludes the departure briefing. If anyone's got any questions, please let me know. If you don't, we'll go ahead, lock up, and get underway. Okay, we want one of you on. You're on. Remove the chocks. We're not going to use Better Pushback today. We'll close up the doors. No questions. Ready for takeoff. Excellent. Close, and we'll close that guy just there. Okay, forward entry and cargo is closed, and forward entry is closed. Excellent. What do I want on there? Just Avitab and airport. That guy just there. We'll do a very quick check just on the outside, check that there's no one behind us besides a stray fuel truck. When we've got some traffic there, we are on VATSIM. You can see that there's a Emirates 777 taxiing down to runway 34. He's doing the same thing that we are. This is some great background company while I study for commercial. Well, there you go, buddy. Yeah, they're kind of very closely aligned there. Hey, Leroy, hope you're doing well, and your supercomputer now that you've upgraded. Okay, let's go ahead and get cracking. So we are going to go ahead now and to jump into VR. The rear gear on that 777, yeah, it's Emirates. You know, they're always a bit special. So we're going to go jump into VR, which means my mic is going to change. So there you go, guys. Unfortunately, you can't have the boom mic while in VR. But I think we are already good to go. So we'll get that. We'll close you. Just check everything else. I think we're ready to go. Okay, so what do I want to do? I want to get into VR. So over here, go back here, and give me a sec, guys, and we'll jump in.
Don't you know about the bird?
That's going to be one of two people. Movie. That's going to be one of two people. It's either going to be Leroy or it's going to be Larrica. Let's go medium quality here on Chatty. Move it in. What do we got? It's Leroy. Hey, Leroy, welcome to the stream, buddy. Alright, we got that one closed. And you guys are a little bit big. This Rift S quality in this headset is miles better than the one for the Rift. So I don't really need to have you guys that big anymore. Okay, let's go ahead and go. So better pushback. We'll set the timer on there. Anti-collision light is good. We want to actually, before we even do the anti-collision light, all that. What am I doing? What am I doing here? We want to go ahead and reset that. Close the door. I'm jumping the gun here. Something vicious. Just check that you guys can see everything okay. Yeah, you can. Excellent. We need to do a checklist. God. Okay, so fuel, we've got... I'm not doing very well on the checklist today. So we've got 7.8 as per the plan, and all the pumps are on. There's nothing required in the centre tank. The passenger signs are on. The windows are locked on my side, locked on your side. The MCP, we've got V2 150 heading 340 and 5,000 set. The city pre-flight, we've got 141, 142, 150. That is the city pre-flight completed. The trim is free and 0. The taxi and takeoff briefing is completed to the line. Below the line, the flight deck door is now closed and locked, and the anti-collision light is now on. Whew, fogging up a little bit here. I think I need to turn my AC on. Yeah, mate, I'm over the trauma and ready to enjoy the frame boost. Excellent, mate. It's good to hear. Okay, now we can start the clock. We've got the anti-collision light on, and I just need to press a button on my keyboard. Is that it? Sorry, guys, hang on a second. I think I've got to do this in X-Plane.
Okay, push card coming.
Push cart coming. Okay, there we go. Hey Milo, welcome to the stream, buddy. Default X-Plane pushback system for us just in Melbourne.
Here we go.
Jesus, whoa, we really push back fast. Holy shit. Okay, and I'm going to swing us around nice and early. Hey, fuel truck. Hey Jim, I don't really find a use for it at the moment, even though there probably is one.
Okay, safe travels.
Okay, that's as far back as he's going to push us. No worries, thanks buddy. Yeah, that pushback was nuts. Okay, let's go ahead now and get going. So, left, right, pack right, and it's the right one for us starting the clock. There goes the there goes the Jetstar 787. Oh, what am I doing here? Yes, that would be why. Okay, looking for 24% here on N2. And here comes the fuel. Why not using better pushback, Leroy? Ever since I edited my Melbourne airport and put in smart gates, the proper aero bridges that come on, and added some extra clutter and stuff, my X-plane crashes just here, this one airport, when I use better pushback. Not any other airport. Start to cut out. That's a good start on 2. Within a minute, let's go ahead and start 1. First time my headset's fogging up a little bit. Maybe I smudged it. In comes the fuel. Can we get more engine sounds? You can, Milo. So, start to cut out. It is pretty quiet even in here, buddy. The actual real cockpit is just as quiet without the packs on. So, flaps 5. Control check what you need. And rudder right, center, rudder left, center. Okay, let's go ahead and do these. Left and right. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, on. Okay, we'll get to the sounds just in a sec, Milo. So before taxi checklist, generators on, the probe heat is on, the anti-ice not required. The isolation valve, he's over there on auto. Engine start switches for this aircraft remain on auto. The recall's checked. Auto brake is RTO. The engine start switches are idle. D10 flight controls have been checked and dispatch clearance is checked. That's the before taxi checklist complete. Let me get you guys some more sound here. Where is it? Right down the end there. Let me know if that's any better, guys. The aircraft's pretty quiet until we get going anyway, so yeah, hopefully it's alright. Okay, APU coming off. Taxi sign on. I don't know what the hell this fuel truck's doing, but we're just going to rock and roll. Brakes released. Off. Let's go. And the fuel truck's gone. Emirates guy, the Emirates 777's down there still. I don't know whether he was waiting for that Jetstar guy to land. Oh no, that Jetstar 787 we saw was taking off. You can see him still down there. Maybe he's having issues. Just quick check right. No, there's nothing coming. The two towers in Melbourne, the old and the new. The new one's the taller grey one at the right. And the I didn't think that was there. Or maybe it still is. The old the makeup of an aircraft for the fireys to set on fire and work on. Milo, I think it just does one. If you want to do multiple, you need to use Restream Chat. I need to get my We got some cargo planes down there today. TNT and is that Lufty over there? Oh yeah, you use Restream? Yeah, good though.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
Okay, cabin secure. The before takeoff checklist: flaps are 5, green light, and stabilizer trim is 5 units set. That's the before takeoff checklist complete. Alright, so let's go ahead and just turn the TCAS on here for a second, and we'll just see if we can see anything coming down the approach there, because the old Emirates has been sitting there for a little while. He taxied before we pushed back, and as we are on VATSIM, we just want to be careful here of cutting anyone off, and I might just do a very quick ATC check again before we get here on the line. Okay, on the brakes. Sorry guys, I'm just going to lift up the headset just for a second. Holding short, you go. No, there's no ATC online, so we'll just see what this guy's doing, and if he's not going to move, we'll go. So let's have a quick check here. We've got TCAS on. What are you doing, buddy? No, it looks like he's just going to hang out there. So we'll definitely go. All right, so strobes on. No, we don't need you. We've done you. And let's get going. So clear on the right, clearer on the left. He doesn't seem to be moving. No, let's get going. Lifty? No, it's Hunter. Oh, there you go. Skypey, hello, welcome to the stream, buddy. Welcome. I hope you're doing really well. We're just lining up here, and I'm just watching an Emirates 777 there because he's been there for a little while. Alrighty. I'm doing great. VR is sick. Yes, it is, buddy. Let's get going. Up to 40%. Both engines coming up together, which they are. Toga, let's go. Okay, so hand on the throttle. A little bit of forward motion on the yoke or forward pressure. Through 80 knots. Check. Rotate. Aussie right, gear up. Fly the director. Yes, 401 VNAV speed. $1,000. Okay, there's our thrust reduction height and acceleration height, so we're going to nose over a little bit and allow the aircraft to start accelerating. Okay, so flaps 1. And we want to go to flaps up by the flaps 1 marker, so always one ahead. Flaps up. As we come through flaps up. Oh, I swear I put that gear up Did you guys see me put that gear up? I swear I put that gear up. Okay, the gear is now up. And off. And off. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I'll do a turn there. 160 was our V2 plus 10 climb out speed. VR was about 142, I think. Okay, let's go Command A. Whoop, that wound us all the way up to 33,000. Jeez, 41. Jesus, that was quick. Zoom you out. We'll get off terrain, go to weather, and after takeoff checklist. Engine bleeds are on. Packs are auto. Landing gear is up and off, and flaps are up, no lights. After takeoff checklist complete. See how long it takes. My gear is still down. No, it's not. I got no gear lights. I got no backup gear. No gear extension backup lights. No, gear's up. Wasn't up before though. Let's go to the replay. Yeah, Jim. Lovely ortho for XP here today. And every time I fly, I always forget to switch my chart over. I held the button and dropped it again. Copy, Leroy. I blame the new Rift S controllers, mate. Okay, so as you can see, here we are heading to Sally. I checked the VOD. You did put the gear up and had 3 red lights, then looked away, then looked back and it was green. Yeah, right. And down. Yeah, Jim, copy that. Maybe I flicked it down with my my hand there a little bit. Ah, well. Okay, I think we're in pretty smooth air. We'll let the crew up. It's 4 AM for you, Scarpy. It's about almost midday here, so it's about 5 minutes to 11 in the morning. As we're through transition standard, and landing lights coming off. I must say, using their hand controllers isn't easy sometimes. Leroy, it gets easier. It'll become like second nature. A good tradesman. Never blames his tool. That's right, guys. Okay, now that we are established in our climb, guys, I'm going to jump out of VR. We'll jump back VR when we get to top of descent. So give me a sec to jump out.
Okay, we get to have a good microphone again. Oh, I don't know what it is today. It's about 22 degrees in my office here, but I am sweating. Ooh, back to reality. Alrighty, let's fix up that heading bug just there, and I think we're in some pretty smooth air here, so we're going to go ahead and let the packs up. There we go. Oh dear. Up we go. So one of the things I've been wanting to check out, and I haven't really played with it too much, is the new Navigraph charts desktop software. It is pretty nice. It's a pretty big upgrade from the last one. So if we go here, we should be able to see ourselves tracking out of Melbourne here. There we go. It's got us a departure off runway 27, but if we go change runways 3-4, departure is Dozel 9. You can see just there, and show route, can we put the departure, show visual overview? No, we don't want to do that. I thought we could have departure, Dozel 9, add to route. How do we choose to... I thought we could overlay... I thought we could overlay the chart here. Dozel 9, show chart as an overlay. There you go, look at that. Look how cool that looks. Yeah, Leroy's right, absolutely. Is that Steam, or how do you navigate to the app? Fireball Zero, hello, welcome to the stream. So this is actually from the same people I get my Navigraph or navigation data updates. That's what I'm trying to get to, the navigation data updates from these guys just here. This is the Navigraph site. You can get just an FMS or navigation data updates, or you can also get a package or one or the other with the charts as well. And it's really, really nice. I highly recommend navigraph.com. This lovely graphical overview here, so you can see our route out of Melbourne. You overlay the chart on your route, and it's really quite special. So if we have a look at Canberra here, we want to just go back to the sim here for just a second. Let's go heads down. Menu, ACARS, request ATIS, YSCB is where we're headed. So chuck in Canberra, click send. It's going to do its little ACARS VHF transmission, get some data back for us. And the weather in Canberra at the moment, 320 at 5, good visibility. It's fine right up in Canberra. So, well, it looks like all that fog has burnt off. So it looks like we'll get into Canberra probably no problems. Well. So 320 at 5 though, that answers a question for us in regards to runways. So it's going to be runway 35. So if we go Poly 7 Alpha for the ILS Zulu. Poly 7 Alpha, show chart. This chart is not geo-referenced and does not support overlays or moving maps. Oh, is this one? Show chart. Okay, well we can get the ILS chart there. Wait, what? How do you get the weather on the FMC? Missed that for a second. Patonin, so you just go down to the menus page, go to ACARS, ATIS request, and chuck in your arrival airport, or airport that you want, and just click send. Yeah. If you do a fair bit of flying all over the world, it is a really nice piece of software to have. Well, we've got some traffic there going into Melbourne. Just to give you an idea, Patonin, Fireball Zero, that software you can see here, and the overlays of the charts, as well as a little moving indicator, is the same company that allows me to put these charts into the 7.3. So that's the same company, their Navigraph charts as well. As we start to hit some turbulence, which we thought we might, there's a couple of little bumps there you can see. Couple of little bumps there as we climb up through. Those of you that were with me for the flight plan review know that we had a few bumps there in the plan. For those of you that might have missed it, if we go to this guy just here, I'll show you exactly what we're talking about. On the flight plan, we had the sideways look at our route, and you can see a little bit of turbulence up through here as we start climbing up into Canberra. Yeah, the wing flex is really, really nice. Yeah, Patonin, yeah, that's exactly right. It does get a little bit annoying. Oh, looks like we're out of the bumps now, so we won't go to turn the fasten seatbelt sign on just yet. One thing I am keen though is obviously going to Canberra. We're not up at our cruise altitude very long, and we've got 108 knots up our trumpet pushing us along even faster. So we want to make sure that we're absolutely ready for our arrival into Canberra. So it's nice that we can overhead, we can put on the ILS chart, and it makes it really nice to see. But the Poly 7 Alpha, we've got to go into windowed mode. There we go. So the Poly 7 Alpha will go Iran transition, because I'm pretty sure Iran is where we're coming from. So we go wherever we are now to Iran, and then it's to Poly Goman, Honey, Daly, and then Menzies. And Menzies is where we start the ILS approach. So we'll go ahead and put that in now. That's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. So departures and arrivals into Canberra. It's the ILS Zulu for runway 35 from Menzies on the Poly 7 Alpha from Iran. Execute. There we go. Any thoughts on the DCS F-16? I don't believe you Aussies fly. Jim, I'm probably going to stick with the F-18, which we fly, and the F-14 for a bit of two-seat fun. I don't think I'll get the F-16. Have you ever made a coast flight like Melbourne to Perth, or is it too long? Petonin, if you're heading west, it's quite long. We get some really strong winds across the bottom of Australia. So it's about it can be between a 4, 5, 6 hour flight depending on where you're flying from. It can be like a 3-hour flight coming from Perth back the other way. Hi, Only Boeing, I approve. Hey, Only Boeing, welcome to the stream. Yep, Tony got it for Well Flight last year. Can't live without it. It's in VR, it's essential with Avitab, so you don't have to take your headset off. Yeah, Leroy is another VR pilot. He recently, yesterday, a couple of days ago, got his Rift S. Based on my review, I think in part Leroy maybe got his Rift S, and we found a few bottlenecks in his PC. So Leroy has about the same tolerance for low frame rate as me, and went out and bought a whole new PC, and went from like a 7700 non-K version, which he couldn't overclock, to a 9900 HK or K, with a nice big cooler and a really nice Asus motherboard. So good work there, Leroy. Captain Bill, hello, welcome to the stream, buddy. Hope you're doing really well. KF, yeah, KF, that's the one, Jim. Thank you very much. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we'll bring the charts up for Canberra in the sim as well. So Yankee, Sierra, Charlie, Bravo, charts just here. Yeah, Betonin, they depending on the frame rate difference that Leroy gets, maybe I'll be upgrading to a 9900 KF. Actually, no, I need the onboard GPU. So no, I'll just get the K, maybe. We'll see. Airport. We'll go ahead and get our arrival chart up. It was the Poly 7 Alpha. And we'll get our arrival, which is, no, not arrival, approach, which is the ILS Zulu runway 35. So if we look here, this is going to look very similar to the chart we just saw in black, but obviously in white. You can see here that's what we need. So we'll go ahead and just confirm all those altitude restrictions are in the box here. So the approach for us, we're going from Ebony, but we're going to Iran and then coming to Poly. So no height restriction at Iran, but at Poly we want to be at or below flight level 170, which we've got just there. Goman, Honey, and then 5,400 at or above Menzies. So if I'm just going to delete that for a second, does that change those? No, it's still getting us down really quite low. Okay. 210, 5,400 or above. What we're going to do is, I never like these being 5,400 or above at the start of the approach. I always like to have a firm altitude in there, right at the lowest possible level, and that just ensures that we're not too high once we get there. If we just have a look at the chart here, 5,400 is at the start of Menzies. You don't want to be any higher than that, otherwise you'll miss the start of the ILS approach. Did you, Astro? Yeah, awesome, buddy. Yeah, VR totally changed my life. You need liquid nitrogen to cool that. I would say buy the Rift S, but I had to buy a new school laptop and have no money left. Life as a student, yeah, Captain. I remember those days very well. Yeah, nice, Leroy. Awesome. Yeah, Jim, that's it's a balancing act, you know. Having a really high resolution headset's going to be great, but if you can't get the FPS to support it because the resolution's too high, well, then you've kind of done yourself a disservice. This is where I like the Rift S. It's proven software technology. They've got a really good platform, and it's a nice, not little step up. It's a step forward, but it's not a big step forward like the HP Reverb, but you get the FPS to be able to run it. Okay, so that's that. Let's go ahead now, and as we approach flight level 330, our top of descent is less than 20 nautical miles away. We need to go ahead and get this aircraft ready for our arrival into Canberra. So I'm going to madly get stuff done here. 1167, that's that. We want, yes, that's set. We'll switch you over. We want 1095 on you. Just for those of you on the stream, I'm just going to be heads down, bum up for a second here while we get this stuff set. 1095, it's going to be course 348 for us, 348. 348, we've got a airport elevation of 1800. We'll just go to 1900. Minimums of 2070. Go. 2070. And what are we going to land with now? 56. I always do the wrong way, damn it. Initial index. Right, 5 is 66. Bang on, 66. That. We'll go auto brakes 2. And we've got that going down again. Okay. Alrighty guys, let's do a very quick arrival briefing into Canberra. I will catch up on the chat in just a few moments. So we've cleared ourselves in lieu of having any ATC online. The Poly 7 hour for arrival. It's this guy just here for runway 35. There is a speed restriction of 250 knots below 10. It's chart 10-2 Juliet as we start our descent into Canberra. We're going from Iran. So from Iran it's through to Poly, which you can see Iran, Ebony, Iran, Poly. Poly's got a height restriction there of at or below flight level 170. Which we've got there. From Poly it's to Goman, Honey, Daly, Menzie. Goman, Honey, Daly and Menzie, and Menzie is where we start the ILS approach. There is a speed restriction of 210 below, it's maximum, 210 knots at Daly, which we've got plugged in just there. Then we swing over to this guy just here. This is the ILS Zulu chart for runway 35. It's got it's 11-2 effective the 8th of November. We've got some basic information here. Course 348 and 1095. Course 348 is set both on my side and your side. It's 109.5 set just here. It's got a minimum or decision height of 2070, so 2,070 feet, which we've got set just there. Looking at the chart, we've got some terrain around Canberra. 7,500 below to the south of Canberra is the MSA. We've got 5,900 in that sort of northwest quadrant, and then north and northeast 4,600. If we do cock it up and have to go around, the missed approach for this is 348, climb to 5,100, all directed by ATC. Pretty straightforward. Upon landing in Canberra, it's going to be a flaps 40 landing. We've got a VREF of 142, so it's going to be +5 down the approach, which is 147. We're going to be landing into runway 35, which is this side just here, and we'll aim to get off on Delta. If we miss Delta, we'll just get off on Foxtrot. If we miss Foxtrot, we'll get off on Alpha 1. If we miss Alpha 1, we've probably got bigger problems, and then we'll taxi round to the bay. The weather looks like it's fine up in Canberra. It should be a beautiful day for our arrival, and just keeping an eye of the terrain around Canberra. Okay guys, that completes the arrival briefing. If anyone's got any questions, please let me know. We are on descent into Canberra, and we might go ahead and put the fasten seatbelt sign on, because I think we're starting to hit a few bumps here as we start coming into Canberra. So we might chuck that fasten seatbelt sign on now, and we'll do a descent checklist. Pressurization, landing altitude, we've got 1900 feet set. The recall has now been checked. The auto brake, we've got level 2. Landing data VREF is 142, minimum's 2070, and the approach briefing is completed. That's the descent checklist complete. Whew, what a busy little sector this is. Okay, what do we got here? Lift S is good, HP rear. Damn, you guys are not messing with those winds aloft. 168 knots, yeah, it was thumping around a little bit. We were getting pushed along very, very nicely. Yeah, right. You guys are all talking to yourselves, you're not even talking to me. It's alright. Ooh, what happened there? Did we have a massive wind shift? Yeah, we did. We had a very large wind shift just there. And we are getting a little bit high here. Down you go. VNAV speed, and then the wheel should go and start to drop down. There we go. We'll get on the boards. Just get established in this descent here, guys, and I'll jump into VR. A firm Patona, we are using Ultra Weather XP and connected to Active Sky. It's very strange, I've never had a massive wind shift like that before. Okay, boards all the way out. And we'll keep that descent going through to 12,000. How do I get out of this? Back to flights, is it? Is that how I go? No, it's not. I go and click the X. Okay. Does this give us any particular data around what the lowest safe on this route is and stuff like that? No, it doesn't. Okay. Go ahead and get rid of that now. So what do we got? We had a height restriction here of poly at or below flight level 170. Oh yeah, we're easily going to make that, no worries. Soon, yeah, that's right. Okay, let's go jump into VR again, guys. So I'm going to switch mics now. We'll move the big mic out of the way. Just check I haven't got a dog to run over. No. Okay, get my hands back. Okay, it's a big set of clouds just ahead of us there. Nothing on the weather radar. And everyone's seated now anyway, so I'm not too worried. We'll go to move VR again and bring in Chatty. Welcome back, everyone. The Rift S is so good on the resolution that I can have that really small. Soon TM. Okay, what are we doing? We're 2,100 feet high on the profile, but very much going to make our height restriction of poly at or below 170. Just check here. I can go back a little bit further here. I don't like the accelerator that they put in the Zibo for VR. They put an accelerator where if you wind a bit faster than a set level, it accelerates the knob twisting, which means you can absolutely have this spin 360 like 4 times just by grabbing it. It's really I'm not really a huge fan of it. Right, Jim. Yeah, that's like the ultimate. Absolutely, buddy. I'm very keen to get into the F14. I'm just trialing out the F18 again, just to get back in the swing of things, because I roughly know a little bit about the F18. Welcome to channel, DJ. Okay, what I'm going to do here is just go in at 6. I'm going to go here and I'm going to adjust and bring us right out. We don't need to get down that fast. So Goman at 6.5. So we'll just go to 6.5, roughly around Goman. There we go. Whoa, Jesus! That scared the shit out of me. Oh, Con, thank you so much for the host. Welcome, everyone. Oh dear, hi everyone, welcome to the stream. If you're just joining us, we are flying VR into Canberra in Australia. We are flying Melbourne to Canberra, and we've just hit the thick of it. Good old Zibo, with this poly restriction of flight level 170 or below, wants us to get down really frickin' early, and we're just sorting that out manually. We're going to be doing a bit of vertical speed there. There's a fair bit of terrain around Canberra, we just want to make sure we don't run into it. The screen goes vertical mode for some awkward reason, that's really weird. Hey, there we go, out of the cloud.
And his name is John C.
Oh, Scarpy, it does sound like VR is enabled. You have to go into your options and disable VR. Well, you might have to manually edit it and turn VR off. NetDiver003, hello and welcome to the stream. I'm pretty sure that's where my camera is. Hello, welcome. Got any questions, please shout out. Does anyone remember what the QNH in Canberra was? Asus, we'll send a new one and just get the latest weather here real quick. Asus, we have 1023. 1023. Fair bit of terrain here around, in and around Canberra. We just need to be mindful of it. Yeah, Jim's right, getting the settings to turn it off, but sometimes if you can't get in there or you don't have a headset to get in there, you might have to edit the DCS config file, and I think there's a VR setting there, or just like the 0 or 1 that you just changed to 0, and it should sort it out for you. Okay, through transition standard, sorry, not standard, 1021. Oh, 1023 is actually the one we want. 1023, 1023, and 11.1 now. Check. Is VR at a flat spot when it comes to current gaming? Net Diver, can you expand on that a little bit? How do you mean a bit of a flat spot? Are you talking about resolution or current generation or? Con, what did you do, buddy? What did you do? I thought I did check you out this morning. I think you were flying a twin. I think you were on descent at like max speed, 250 knots there. Well, I think the max on that aircraft was like 260 or something in cloud. So all good signs. Okay, we want to watch that speed back now. Oh, games of support, I guess. Yeah, there seems to be a real sort of... Like, VR's great for shooters and grabbing guns and all that sort of stuff, but there seems to be an overpopulation of those style games, and they're all very similar. Obviously, simulations is another good area where you can use it. I mean, like grabbing all the knobs and knockers and all that sort of stuff in here is really, really good. Yeah, I think that's partly driven, though, by the fact that it's still quite resource heavy. VR, and the Pimax headset, the 5K Plus that I've got with its much wider field of view, is great in like iRacing, which has got a really old graphics engine in it. It's really, really cool. But the problem is we really need a really big jump in performance to enable it to be used in other games that are quite graphics intensive as well. You know, I've got a pretty decent PC, and I can't run the Pimax at its native resolution with its wide range of field of view and maintain 25 FPS. I can't do it, so... Apparently airplanes need fuel. Oh, Con, you didn't run out of fuel, did ya? Come on, buddy. What do we got? Honey, 5,400 by Menzies. Oh, yeah. We'll shallow that a bit more now. Okay, unfortunately this chart doesn't support overmapping the aircraft on it. We'll get that when we get to the approach chart. Zoom in one more. I loaded it and briefed it, but apparently the Mad Dog didn't load it. Oh, no way. There you go, Scrappy. Well, Scrappy, I'm glad that we were able to help you out there, buddy. That's excellent. Con, did you get airborne? Tell that to the families of the virtual people you killed. Did you get airborne, Con? What happened? I obviously missed it. Yep. Thank you, guys. Yeah, you're very welcome, buddy. Very, very welcome. So this is the next range we've got. Hey, Larkin.
Don't you know about the bird? Well, Peter's gonna tell you about the bird. Well, a bird.
Daily 210. Hello, Larkin. Welcome to the stream, buddy. Hope you're doing really well. Look, it wasn't pretty. Larkin, we're just giving Con heaps of shit because I think he ran out of fuel. It's never a good sign. Speaking of fuel, what do we got? 5.9. There we go. 5.9 tons, which is sounds like 5.9 tons more than what Con had. We might get a terrain. We might get our not a terrain warning, but we might get our what's the word I'm looking for here? Our radar altimeter. That's right. The radar altimeter might go off over this mountain range just here. Beyond the mountain range is then our turn left onto finals. Yeah, it is, Con. I swear checking the fuel is part of a checklist somewhere, Con. I'm sure it's a line item on a checklist. That'd be right, Milo, wouldn't it? We don't. Con, I'm surprised. You fly around for real too, right? If my own foot tastes sour now. Alrighty, let's do an approach checklist. Approach checklist, altimeters 1021, question 1023, 1023, and 1023. Approach checklist complete. What's the checklist?
25.
Hey, there we go. We got the radar altimeter going off. As we go over the top of that mountain just there. the Zibo brings you down far too low, far too early. Ooh, we're having some wind changes here. Ooh. Wind's back. Interesting wind. Yeah, Con, that's yeah, let's hide those videos while you go for your flight test, eh? It's doubling the crew with the elevation. We're about 5,000 foot up. Oh, 2,500. Note to self, the Zibo brings us in way too low in this arrival, on this arrival.
2,500.
Okay, where's that 210 coming up at daily? 210. Alrighty. This is the scenic route. Yeah, very, very scenic. I came in here with, I think I was following Greg, who's a big supporter of my channel, and we were coming in here during an event the other week, and we both left it on VNav, VPath, and let it do its descent, and it descended us way too early, just like it did today. And it was at night time in cloud. Actually, I think, was it the X-Enviro stream maybe I did? I think it was the X-Enviro stream I did, and we did a Melbourne to Canberra, and got pretty low there. Scarpy, it's got a bunch of cameras on it that are obviously constantly photographing the room, and 3D, well, there'd be 3D cameras, so they can see the distance between things, and it's just a calculation that's done, I guess, depending on where you move. Hey Boyks, here you go, welcome to the stream, buddy. Hope you're doing really well. We're just we're coming into Canberra, mate. We're just about to turn onto the ILS into Canberra. Okay, let's slow up to maximum 210. We'll just go to flaps up speed. Ah, yeah, 210. There we go. Yeah, the ortho looks pretty decent, doesn't it? For some reason, my Canberra has a very green square around it, and you can see the start of the green square just over there. It rained in a very particular section of the ACT. Better than Orbix Australia. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Okay, we want VOR lock coming on. We've got the glide slope and localizer there. 5,400 for us. Okay, there's 210, there's 5,400 for the turn left. Yeah, this would be Bingley, Milo, Bing 17 or 18, Bing 18 maybe? I think I did the same. Curto. Come on, bud, you got your Vive going yet, mate? Are we flying? Shared cockpit, both in VR, mate. When are we doing that, Curto? We got a lot of good memories coming to this airport, mate. Okay, there's the localizer. Yeah, we'll go one stage of flap. Thinking about some DCS. Nice, Curto. Okay, we got VOR lock over to approach mode.
And we'll bring this back as well. This week for sure. Awesome. Alright. Canberra Green Ring, no water restrictions there yet. Yeah, no, absolutely. You can see the water restrictions end at that road. Okay. Flaps 2, flaps 5. Turn those guys on. And down we go. VOR lock and glide slope as we start our descent into Canberra. Okay, switch charts. We should see us coming down this chart. There we go. You can see us just here. Okay, missed approach is 5,100. 5,100 and 348. 348, 5,004, 5,100. We are visual. This approach is boring compared to cons. Yes, Smilo, because we got 5.6 tonne worth of fuel on board. Alrighty, gear down. Flaps 10. Flaps 15. Yeah, straight in approach, runway 35 into Canberra. Pretty straightforward. City of Canberra just off to our left there. A normal approach? Oh, for your flight con. Flaps 25. We'll go flaps 30. 147. Flaps 40. Landing checklist. Landing checklist is engine start switches are auto for this aircraft. Speed brake is armed. Landing gear is down and flaps are 40. Landing checklist complete. Let's go flying. I have control. I got itchy nose before I grab the controller. There we go. Okay, I've got control. Trim here, fix that, arrest that descent a little bit.
Thousand feet, stabilized, visit approach altitude set.
Checked.
Nervous? First time.
No, I've been nervous lots of times.
Good timing there, Jim. Okay, my throttles.
400.
Okay, those of you on the stream now, I'm just gonna not be looking at the chat here for a sec.
Concentrate.
Approaching minimums.
I've got to concentrate.
200.
Hello?
Minimums.
Continue.
Echo.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Landed a little bit long there. We're going to miss Delta. There's Delta just there, we missed. We'll go down to the next one.
50 knots.
80 knots. We're off on Foxtrot. Reverses. Welcome to Canberra, everyone. Manual braking. Jim, thank you for the 100 biddies, buddy. Really appreciate it. It's very, very kind of you. As we exit here. A bit dry here in Canberra. Flaps up. Auto brake off. Strobes coming off. Weather radar is off. Master caution, anti-ice. Clear left. Clear right. So this little section over here is typically where you find the Air Force contingent in Australia. This is obviously Canberra. This is our nation's capital. This is where all the pollies are, the politicians and what have you. And our PM's private jets and a collection of other military aircraft are kept over this side of the field. The right side is the commercial aviation side. So you'll find GA, you'll find us over there, but on this side it's all military. Can you slap ScoMo? Yeah, tell me about it. Tell me about it. I feel like if I go to Windows settings, I feel like I could use some better. There we go, anti-aliasing. Let's turn that up a little bit. That's better. Sorry guys, I just wanted to switch my anti-aliasing. I was fiddling with Xenviro the other day and switched my anti-aliasing down. I thought it was looking a little bit jaggy for my liking. Well, looks like ScoMo is not home, or he's all locked up. And I've purposely left the TCAS on just so we can see if there's anything coming down finals here. And visually there doesn't look like there's anything coming down. But we've got to do a runway crossing again, so back on with the strobes. It was clear left. It's still looking nice and clear on the right. Let's get going. Jim, it does, and I can grab it with this if I wanted to. I find it just a little bit easier to use my feet, so I just use my feet. Are you using any taxiway runway plugins? No, Scrappy, I'm not. I'm just using the X-Plane scenery that I've got for Canberra. Okay, we can turn the TCAS off, turn strobes off, and we're around to the left just here. Yeah, Jim, I did try the tiller here, using the tiller, which with my hand, which you can do, totally fine. It's just that there's no, your rudder pedals can lock back to centre. They obviously spring loaded, so they come back to centre. This doesn't, so you'll find you'll drift and you'll just spend your whole time taxiing like this because there's no real centre to come back to, if that makes sense. I probably should. I tout how realistic I try and make these flights. I should probably be grabbing the tiller. Clear left. As clear right as I can see. Strobe coming back on. No, Ruben. I grab it with my my VR controllers. Okay, taxi light coming off. We'll go to the next one just here. I'm pretty sure this is a Qantas gate just here, but oh well, we'll give it a crack anyway. No, Milo, it's not. I love how they put the taxiway sign, the gate sign just there, number 10. I feel like that's a bad choice of positioning for the sign. I'm probably going to squish it. Okay, APU on the bus, on the bleeds. Cabin crew, disarm doors and cross-check. 7-3. Stop. On the bus, sorry, on the brakes. We are on the bus and on the bleeds, shutting down. Beautiful. Anti-collision light off. That's off, 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 off. Yeah, they're good. Unlock, open. And we'll go ahead now and get doors open, open, ground, set the chocks. Okay, shutdown checklist. Shutdown checklist. The fuel pumps, everything's off but one for the APU. Probe heat is off. Hydraulic panel is set. The flaps are up, no lights. The parking brake is set. The engine start levers are cut off, and the weather radar is off and off. That's the shutdown checklist complete, guys. Welcome to Canberra. Let me go ahead and jump out of VR real quick. Okay, you. Wow, it's a good view. There we go. Did we crush that sign? Well, we didn't crush it, but I'm pretty sure we came pretty close. Maybe it just comes down and then flips back up. Oh dear, it's a pretty good view. I wonder if the blades are rotating in front with the wind there. Did I see? Does anyone else see what I see here? She looks like she's... Yeah, right. I'd be that happy too if I was in Canberra. Okay, let's have a little look here. We got the... Oh, no. Jim, you crack me up. Oh, okay, what do we got here? That one, complete. All right, well, that was our flight from Melbourne up to Canberra. Now the question is, where do we head to next? Let's get some PFPX firing up. This is professional flight planning software for flight sim. What's new with the Zibo? Hey David, welcome to the stream. Well, we aren't using the latest version. I'm pretty sure. Hey. Oh, Astro, thanks so much for the 250 biddies there, buddy. Really appreciate it, mate. Thank you so much. Have we got... Can we tell the version we've got in the tablet here? I thought we could. I think I'm definitely... I'm now a couple of versions behind. I think I'm on 3... Show me the biddies. What version am I on? I'm on RC 3.4, and I think they've got up to RC 3.7, maybe. Ballina, Canberra to Ballina. Let's have a little bit of a look here. So we'll go ahead and turn medium airports on. We'll turn the weather on and have a little bit of a look here. Oh, Canberra's just coming up red because there's fog in the forecast there. So we are here in Canberra at the moment, just here, Brisbane. Well, we can head up to Brizzy all the way up here. Now let's have a look at the weather for Brisbane. I could just look out the window, I guess. They added re-ice. They added what? Just looked out the window. Looks fun. Yeah, Con, it's nice out there, isn't it? I've got the blinds closed here. It was I think it was pretty great. Yeah, fine. Yeah, there you go. Oh, de-ice. Yes, they have got de-icing here. If you go to ground services, you can start de-icing. That's in the version that I've got. That's pretty cool. Not that we need to really do it today. We could head to Brizzy. It's looking pretty good up at Brisbane. What's the Gold Coast looking like? Goldie's looking okay. Let's head. What's Lonnie looking like? Lonnie again looking fine for Lonnie. Hobart looking fine. Adelaide. Looking fine. There's some there's some gusts forecasted for later on. The 9th at 1300, yeah, much later on. Come to Yankee Mike India Alpha. Is that Mildura? Am I thinking of Mildura? Is that MYMIA? Off to bed. All right, Jim. Thanks so much, buddy. See you later. Come to Mildura. Canberra Mildura. I don't think we've got a flight there. How long is that in the 7.3? 9104. Where are we going? YSCB to what? Whoop. 9104 to YMIA. An hour and 25. VH. YFC. An hour and 25. I'm out in Hawaii. You ever been out east? The Windy website is quite helpful when it comes to runway info from Meta. Yes, I've seen Windy as well. We could head to Mildura. If you guys wanted to, we could do a nice approach into Mildura, or we could head down south to Lonnie. We could head north up to maybe the Gold Coast, or something like that. You know what? Let's just not discount New Zealand here for a second. Let's have a look in NZ. Good old Wellington. Wellington's never green. Wellington 010 at 20, gusting 31. We could do a nice departure out of Queenstown to Wellington. What do you reckon? Do you want to do Queenstown out down to Wellington and battle some of the winds coming into Wellington? What do you guys reckon? We'd see some absolutely amazing Ortho 4XP scenery. Sounds good? Alright, let's go ahead and do that. Sounds like a good one? Okay, let's do that. Okay. Yeah, alright, I think we got a consensus. Alrighty. So, NZQN to NZWN. That's right, we're going to be in the same aircraft we are now, Yankee Foxtrot Charlie. Add the flight, let's go ahead and plan the flight. So what I'm going to do here real quick is just check Active Sky for the weather in Queenstown. 10 degrees, 280 at 7, 1008, so that's cool. Okay, so we want runway 23 for our departure. Queenstown, ZQN, Wellington can be whatever it is. What is Wellington? 010, so runway 34. Okay, so does that match what we're seeing in... Not really. Wow, that's totally different. That meta for Queenstown is totally different to what Active Sky sees. Ah, nice. Oops, sorry, that not hyperlinked. Ah, yeah, cool, that's okay, buddy. Does that work for us, though? I think my other program made it work for us. Ah, yeah, there we go. That's what Con's trying to show us, this guy just here. Yeah, look at that wind down in Wellington. Be nice if... unfortunately, the weather we've got in Queenstown at the moment is vastly different to what Active Sky is seeing is vastly different to the meta. Wellington's bang on, but Queenstown's not. It's a shame. Okay, random payload for us, fuel. We'll leave on that for now. Route, have we got a route? ZQN Wellington 9. What does that give us? Yeah, that's cool. And let's find an alternate. We'll just head up to Auckland. Auckland's pretty good. So we'll go ahead and set Auckland there. We might chuck an extra hour holding fuel for us. We've got some pretty bad weather in Queenstown, gusty winds. Let's compute the flight. What's it giving us? We're over our max landing weight. What's it going to give us for fuel wise? 9.5 ton. Jesus, what does it want us landing with? 6.5. Yeah, that's why we're going to replan that. We'll take that down to 30 minutes. 030 and compute. By 247 kilos. Come on. Oh, why you've got us going up so low? That's why. Stupid PFPX. North is... Does anyone remember the cruise levels for New Zealand? I can't remember. It's north is even, south is odd. Is that right? This will give us one anyway. What's it giving us? 2.3. So yeah, we'll go 350. Flight level 350, not 50. North even. North even. You think polar bear? Oh my god, what are we over now? 246 kilos. All right, we're gonna have to remove some weight. Oh, we've got almost 8 tons of cargo. We're gonna reduce that. We're gonna keep some ski gear down south. You reckon cruise levels in New Zealand? New Zealand cruising levels. North is odds. South is evens. Yeah. South is evens. There we go. Oh, well, Paul, that's okay. That's all good. 3.5. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Let's go ahead now and release that plan. Print the flight plan. Go ahead and get rid of load you. Okay, the flight plan's loaded up. We'll go ahead and export the plan. Save, export, and we'll go send to... That's him. So guys, I'm just lodging some flight plans in the background, and then we'll get underway. 324268. It's file flight plan 27497 3500. Departure time will be 0320. 4. Okay, cool bananas. Alrighty, that's that lodged. So we can go ahead and get rid of you. Now, how's the sim gonna like getting reset into Queenstown? So what we'll do is chuck you there, terminate the flight leg, and go ahead and reposition the aircraft. NZQN. Queenstown Bay. Yeah, that sounds good. Overcast. Really? Okay. Start new flight. Okay, guys, while we are loading up to fly Queenstown to Wellington, which is going to be pretty exciting, it is pretty damn Wellington in Wellington. It's pretty damn windy in Wellington. I'm going to take a very short break, get a very quick drink, say hello to my dogs, and I'll be back in about 2 or 3 minutes. To encourage you to stick around because we're up for another really good flight coming ahead. I'll see you all in just a sec. Okay, hi everyone, welcome. Got a nice glass of juice, which looks like medical waste in a cup, but tastes pretty good. Maybe not. Okay, well, let's go ahead and have a little bit of a look-see-loo out here in Queenstown. It's looking pretty average here. Very, very average as we climb up into the clouds here and just have a little bit of a look down here at the airport. Do need to disconnect from VATSIM here real quick and just log on with a new call sign. That one there. Connect, there we go. As we connect in. Yeah, maybe we should have flown Wellington into Queenstown. Don't know what Active Sky is thinking. Anyway, the aircraft turned itself off. Okay, let's go ahead and get it booted up real quick. Turn you on. I'll get the load and balance, or weight and balance. Just the weight and fuel plugged in real quick. So what do we got? I think it's about 17. What's that? 58.4, 17.1. If my maths is any good, 58.5, and 8 tonne worth of fuel. There we go. Let's go ahead, set the chocks. Doors. Everything's still open. What do we got? We'll open the aft entry as well. Fuel. Okay, front stairs, rear stairs, and we'll chuck those guys on now. Get these guys coming in. Hey, who we got there? So Captain Mike, thank you so much, and welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing really well. If you've got any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to shout out as we get underway here in Queenstown for Wellington. Everyone's connecting in. This guy's having a couple of goes at it. That's okay. Yeah, doing really well, buddy. Doing really well. This guy's having a few cracks at it. Yeah, we're not doing not too bad at all, buddy. Not too bad at all. Okay, on. Let's go ahead and we'll pressurize the hydraulics. Get the bleeds firing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 along the back there. I start aligning the IRS. Pressurize the hydraulics. You going to come on yet? No, you're not. Okay, and you will go ahead and start the flight leg. Captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. Okay, a bit darker here in Queenstown with that overcast weather. What I'll do real quick is just load the weather into Active Sky's flight plan just to make sure that we have accurate weather along the route. Okay, close, minimize, FMC. Okay, you're coming up with the line. Yeah, you're still aligning. Can we turn you on? Yes, we can. Was AFK, is this the Zibo? Net diver A-firm, this is the Zibo 737-800 you can see there. Getting loaded up, ready for Queenstown through to Wellington. Okay, enter IRS position, excellent. So we are in NZ. And where's N? Right there. Z to QN. Totally don't know where anything is. So south 45.1, east 188.43. We've got 45.01, east 168.44. That's close enough. Chuck that in there. And beautiful. She has aligned. Excellent. Okay, let's go ahead now. Do a quick check of the oxygen on my side. Quick check on my side. Go ahead and zoom out a little bit. Quick fire test. So left test. Nope, that's a right. Left test. Right test. Cargo fire test. TCAS test. Check. Check on you. Did I not hold that long enough, that TCAS test?
Adjust.
There we go. Okay, quick test of the autopilot enunciators, both sides. Yes and yes. Lights test. Everything looks like it's lighting up like a Christmas tree. Excellent. We got reset on you, used, reset on you.
Descend now. Increase climb. Increase climb. Increase descent. Increase descent.
That's all looking
Maintain
good.
Vertical speed. Maintain vertical
Check
speed.
down here.
Crossing.
You're
Maintain.
locked.
Monitor
None of you are
vertical
popped.
speed. TCAS test. Pass.
None of you have popped. Excellent. Hi everyone in the back. Guy's got dodgy eyes, I swear. Okay, back on the flight deck. Switch you up. Okay, we'll do a basic GPWS test while we wait.
Wind shear. Wind shear.
Ugh. To remind myself it's healthy.
Terrain. Pull up. Obstacle. Obstacle. Pull up. Airspeed low.
Airspeed low. Alrighty, over down here. Final check before we get cranking is the flight recorder check. This light should extinguish when we go to test. It does. Store warning, stick shaker my side is shaking its ass off. Stick shaker your side is equally shaking its ass off. And too early yet for the Mac test, which we'll come back and just remember to do before we get going. Okay, let's do a pre-flight checklist. What do we got here? So pre-flight checklist, oxygen tested 100% both sides, the navigation transfer and display switches. They're those guys up there, they're normal and auto. We got window heat, that's the 4 switches along the back, they are all on. The pressurization mode selector, he's over here, he's on auto. We'll set this stuff back now as we've changed country since we landed this aircraft last. While I'm over here, I do like to go and set our cruise altitude just so I don't forget. The flight instruments, I've got, that's one thing we didn't do is the current QNH here in Queenstown is 1008, so we'll just hold the checklist here for a second. And 1008 for us there, 1008 for us there. So the flight instruments, we've got heading 226 on the left side, 226 on the right side, and altimeter 1008, 1008, 1008, about 1100 feet on 1180 feet on all three, which is close enough for us. The parking brake is set and the engine levers are cut off. That's the pre-flight checklist complete. Okay, let's have a look at the flight plan. So this is the flight plan for our flight today. We are operating velocity 9104 from Queenstown through to Wellington today, the 9th of June 2019. Going to take about 54 minutes for us, requiring about 2.7 tonnes worth of fuel. The standard 8-minute contingency is there. The alternate we're carrying for Auckland, another 52 minutes is on there for another 2.5 tonnes. The standard fixed reserve of this aircraft is 30 minutes, which you can see just here with 1.1 or 1.2 tonnes added. So minimum required for the flight is about 6.8 tonnes of fuel. I'm just rounding up a little bit. I did chuck an extra 30 minutes of holding fuel if we do need to do a couple of missed approaches into windy Wellington. We've got an extra 30 minutes up our sleeve to complete those missed approaches. So we're going to be blasting off with about 7.8 tonnes worth of fuel. So on the bay here, after we take out a little bit for the taxi, we should have about 7.9 tonnes of fuel on board. And you can see 7.9 tonnes of fuel on board. By the time we get to Wellington, we're going to have about an hour and 55 minutes up our sleeve, or about 5 tonne worth of fuel. A zero fuel weight today of 58.5 tonnes. With the fuel added for the flight, minus a little bit for the taxi out, we're going to be blasting off here in Queenstown of about 66.3 tonnes. Max landing weight for this aircraft is 66.3, so we are just under that max landing weight. Just need to remember that for the departure briefing. We're going to burn about 2.7 tonnes up to Wellington today, and our landing weight in Wellington is going to be about 63.6 tonnes. The schedule, we're due out at 0320, which is in about 12 minutes. Good luck. And the plan has us landing in there about 440 or 0440 Zulu. Okay, we're up to flight level 350 today, and the shear rate is 5. So we know anything greater than 6 means we're going to have some pretty decent bumps. So being a shear rate of 5, we're probably going to have a few bumps along the way, as definitely in the climb up and potentially in the cruise segment of the flight. We'll just be mindful of that with the fasten seatbelt sign coming off and on. The wind up at 35,000 feet today is 270 degrees at 98 knots, so we're going to have a decent crosswind as we head up. The alternate summary, our primary alternate and our route there through to Auckland. We've also got Christchurch as an option and wherever the fuck that is. Skip the contingency summary for today down to this part. This is the business end of the flight plan. You'll see me refer to this a little bit during the flight, especially when we start setting up the box, so I'll skip it for now and come back to it in a little bit. This is the actual flight plan. This is all the waypoints, including some pretty important wind information, speeds and trip times, as well as the all-important fuel calculation that we should have as we cross-reference as we work our way up to Wellington today. A couple of pages for that. This is the alternate plan, so this is from Wellington through to Auckland should we need to divert. Hopefully we won't need to use that, and we come down to the weather here. So I'm going to skip the weather here for Queenstown because it's not the weather the Sim's got. Active Sky actually has 280 at 7 knots, good visibility, scattered at 4,000, few at flight level 157, temperature 10, QNH 1008. So a little bit different to what we've got just there. But Active Sky's weather for Wellington is much the same. Okay, so this observation was taken today at 0230 Zulu, so about 40 minutes ago. 010 at 20 knots, gusting 31 knots, good visibility, broken cloud at 2,800 feet, temperature 12, dew point 7, QNH 1013, no significant weather forecast. If we look at the forecast, again, it's going to be windy for quite a while, gusting up to obviously 30 knots there as well. Auckland looking rather good, rather boring, 210 at 3 knots, good visibility, and nothing to really worry about. Christchurch equally doesn't look too bad either. Okay, looking at our sideways view of our flight plan here, you can see there's a fair bit of wind and turbulence around the place, especially when we start descending into Wellington. We'll definitely be experiencing a few bumps on the way down. If we look at the flight plan from a top-down view now, you can see that we're definitely going to have a crosswind as we work our way up the northeast side of New Zealand. Okay, that is a review of the flight plan. If anyone's got any questions, please let me know. We'll go ahead now and get the aircraft configured up for our flight through to Wellington. Oops, I just totally stuffed that up. You go there. Okay. So AviTab is open for us. Oh, cool. We don't want Canberra charts anymore. We're a little bit far away from Canberra. We are in a whole different country. Queenstown, there we go. Get some basic charts up for Queenstown here before we get started. AviTab's done that thing again. Heading out, awesome stream, DJ Sean, appreciate it. Astro, thanks so much for sticking around, buddy, really appreciate it. We'll see you again really soon. Okay, before we bring the charts up, we need to do this. Where are we? NZQN. NZQN. Maybe we need to go back, plans and refresh. NZQN, there we go, the 9th. Got any ATC down there in Queensland, Scarpy? We don't, unfortunately. Zoom you in, there we go. Alrighty, heads down, let's have a look at the flight plan. So this is the flight plan page that I did skip when we were going through it originally. It's got our route on it, distance of 366 nautical miles, flight level 350. We're going to chuck all this FMC data entry line in right now. So we are off to NZQN, no we're not, we're taking off QN, we're landing in WN. The company route is ZQNWLG 9. Company route. Activate, execute. It's runway 23 for us. Actually, that's not where our flight plan, that's not where the number goes. It goes there. We are 9104 today. The departure, it's got us on a Fukin 6 departure. QN transition. It's going to be an interesting departure. We're going to fact check that departure. The Fukin 6. Yeah. I don't know if that's the right departure. I'll get the rest of the box set up. Actually, we probably don't want to do the rest of the box set up until we've worked that out. Yeah, well, let's look that up. We'll go into Navigraph charts here for a second and just look up the fucking 6 and just double check that that's the one we probably should be doing, because NZQN, that doesn't sound right to me. Queenstown charts. Sid, the fucking 6. Oh, it's the Frankston 6. It's not the fucking 6. Fake news departure. Okay, let's have a little bit of a look at this chart just here. So, translate for 150. Yes, minimum turn altitude after minimum turn altitude after 1600 feet. Queenston Tower on watch. Everyone contact Queenston approach. ATC requirement. Clear to maintain that. Franken 6 max 180 to established on QN radial 214. Cat A, B, and C. Okay, all right. Aerodrome surrounded by mountains as terrain. No shit. VFR aircraft might be operating. So what are we doing here? We're taking off at or above 1600 feet. Initial climb, turn left around Deer Park. So we're taking off. We're doing so at or above 1600 feet. We're doing a standard turn. Jumping in on the outbound radial from the Queenstown VOR at or above 7,500 feet, where we then turn left back direct to the VOR and then proceed on our route. Yeah, okay. That's we come to Queenstown for a bit of variety, and cool. Yeah, all right, let's do it. All right. So that's something we're going to have to make sure that we do. Yeah, that's an awesome departure. So it's a departure, and Con, just fact checking, it's a departure here at 1600 feet. We're doing a standard left-hand turn, 30-degree turn, and we're just flying it out, intercepting the radial 211 outbound off Queenstown 1136. At 7,500 or above, we then turn around to the left again because we're transitioning via Queenstown onto the route. It's direct left-hand turn onto Queenstown and then out. Yeah. Turn left, intercept the track and maintain, terrain clearance until a beam kill night. Yeah, sounds about right. Okay, awesome. Thought we'd just have a very quick look at that, guys, because this is what it looks like in the Zibo. It just looks like a straight line. Yeah, awesome. Okay, let's continue on with our flight plan. So that's in. It's pull over to the performance initialization page 58.5 for us. On the zero fuel weight, we've got 3.6 on the reserve. We're going to blast up there at 50 on the cost index. It's 270. Whoops, 370. That could be interesting. I've just done it again. 270 at 98. 98. That's not where that. What am I doing? I'm going one step there. There we go. 270 at 98. Once we get up there, it's negative 54 degrees. Flight transition is 130. Over to the N1 limits. It's going to be no derate in the climb nor the takeoff. It's going to be a full rate, full non-derated takeoff. It's flaps 5 for our departure. That guy there, that guy. So 4.87. Yeah, it's about right there. And 148 here. 148 there. Down to the box, 0.78 for our cruise. It's 0.78/280 for the descent. 150 on the way down, I think it is. I'll check that when we get closer in. Okay, landing with 5.6. The plan has us landing with about 5. So yeah, that's okay. That's not too bad at all. Okay. That is that done. Close you. Over here, charts. No, we don't want information about Avitab. NZQN. U, airport. We want a departure, which is going to be the Frankston 6. It's not the fucking 6 anymore. It's the Frankston 6. What am I doing? I don't need 2 of them. It's a bit hard to see in that sunlight there. And we want an arrival into 2-3, approach into 2-3 should we need to do it again, which will be the RNAV for 2-3. Okay. These aren't power out bays, I don't think, are they? No, they're definitely not power out bays. Okay, let's go ahead now and get you set up. I'm worried about the Zibo doing this properly. I do. I don't think it's going to do that turn properly, so we're going to initiate that turn from 1,600 feet. So we're just going to we'll bring it back like that, 090, and we'll set that up to about 12,000 feet and gives us heaps of room. We'll have VNAV, heading select, RTO. The Queenstown VOR was 1136. 1136. And we're receiving that guy. We are. It was radial 211. Okay, terrain on 2000 set. And if we need to come back, 234. Okay guys, I think we're ready for a departure briefing. So for those of you on the stream, you are my virtual FOs. If you've got any questions or comments, please shout out. Have a sip of this. Alrighty, what do we have here? So, coming over here, I do apologise for, I wonder if we can get Avitab up here. Maybe that might be a bit easier to see those charts. Yeah, it is, very much so. Okay, so we are here on the bay just here, so we're going to be pushing back. It's going to be a nose right, push tail left, push back when I organise it. We'll taxi along the Yankee taxiway, I think it is, just down to Alpha 4, where we'll jump onto Alpha 4, trap all the way down to 2-3 and backtrack. We'll get all the way down to 2-3, turn around, and we'll be blasting off for runway 2-3. Talking about the departure, so we are doing a flaps 5 departure. We aren't heavy enough where we need to turn the bleeds off or anything like that. Josh is me. Hey, Josh. So it will be a left-hand seat takeoff, flaps 5 departure. We are doing no D rate, but we will leave the packs on. We don't need the packs to come off for this one. We will be flying no, in VATSIM. Oh, in VATSIM. What? Are you here with me? I'm confused. What's going on? Confused. Ah, there you go. Hey, here we go. We got some traffic there. Who we got? We've got QF455. Ah, there we go. Lovely. Why are you that though? Why are you? Let's see if we can just, before we continue on, we'll just see if we can fix that up. Ah, Josh, I see you now, buddy. Josh, okay. Is there a Q? Can we do Q?
And his name is John C.
3, 8. Hey, we got there. Hey, Red Mug, hello, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing really well. We're just going to see if we can change him to a Qantas. See if we can change him to Qantas. I'm just doing I'm checking the model matching here, but it doesn't look like we have a Q. That's probably why it's not working. I don't have a Qantas aircraft here to change you to. That's really weird. Nah, we're just going to have to leave you on that. Oh, you disappeared. Anyway, you're fixing the call sign hold up. Ah, okay, cool. Platoon A-firm, we are using Swift, and I was just playing with the model matching there, but didn't really work. Yeah, cool. Okay. All right, let's continue on with our departure briefing. So it is going to be a left-hand seat takeoff, no D rate in our takeoff. So for those of you on the stream, you're on my virtual FO. So from 0 through to 80 knots, if there's anything you don't like, please shout out and I'll make an assessment about what we do. From 80 knots through to V1, we're only going to abort for an engine failure or loss of control of the aircraft. From V1, we would take the problem into the sky. Quite a challenging time for us here in Queenstown, so we would still fly, given the weather and the low cloud around, we would still fly the departure as best we can, get above the MSA, and which is going to be fucking high, which is 11,400 feet, and then we'd go and fly for the approach again. So we get over the top of Queenstown, get up above 11,400 feet, and then we'd sort ourselves out to fly out to this guy just here. This is the chart, the RNAV Zulu for runway 23, and we'd fly the RNAV back into the airport. If nothing does go tits up, this is the departure we're going to be doing. It's not the fucking 6, unfortunately, for Conan and myself. It's the Frankston 6. It's got some restrictions there. It's effective the 23rd of May. Speed restriction of 180 knots until established on QN radial 214. So 214. So on the 214 radial outbound, which is 214. My bad. Okay. So we can't accelerate, and so it's max 100 knots until established. So we need to do this turn until we get to at least tracking outbound, and then we are right to accelerate. Let's talk about that. So this is a bit of a funky departure. It calls for us to, at 1600 feet, we do a standard left-hand orbit, and then we come back and intercept the 214 radial outbound and fly that out to 7,500 feet, and then we turn left back to Queenstown VOR. So I don't trust the Zibo doing this in LNAV. The departure looks totally different in the box compared to what we've got on the chart. So we're going to use heading select, and when we get above 1,600 feet, we're going to start that left-hand turn, and I'll just keep plussing it around until we get onto the outbound VOR radial. We have got this set up. You get banned from TCS too, hey Barbs? No, but I didn't. We have got the the VOR tuned up, and we are receiving Queenstown 118. What was that? Sorry, 113.6, which you can see just there. Terrain radar on for us. Fix to show you the so you know when to do a turn. Yeah, we could actually. That's probably a really smart thing to do, Con. Let's go ahead and do that. It's a really smart thing to do. QN, is that going to work for us? If we do, do I have to do like a distance if we do that? We got a just there. So we've basically got to turn in there. So it's 1,600 feet or above. No, it hasn't even got that. Okay. 4,100 feet or above. Where is it getting that? 4,100 feet or above. Off that chart. 1,600 feet or above, we do a left-hand turn. And then we fly out to 7.5, then we turn back in over Queenstown and then off to Wellington. So, yeah. Don't know about that one. We'll see how we go. Okay, once that's done, what else we got to talk about? We've briefed the weather. The weather doesn't match what we've got in here. It's balked. Yeah, I think it is. You go first, Captain. All right, no worries, Josh. Yeah, I think it's cactus as well. We're just going to go with it. We've already briefed it. We've already got a manual workaround which we've discussed, and I'm happy with that. Hidden Island, Sunshine Bay. So I think we've just got to stay within those. It's Jack's Point. No meta are available, so that's pretty much useless to us anyway. Okay, speaking of what else have we got here? So going up to 12,000, 11,400 is the minimum safe altitude. So we will it's probably best for us to not. What do we got here? Not that guy. That guy. Thrust acceleration height. We probably don't want to do any of this to at least 7,500. 7,500. Yeah, that sounds a bit better. So we're not going to accelerate, or we're not going to have our thrust come down into climb until at least 7,500 after we've done those turns and got up really up there really quickly. Snowy's 10. Hello, welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing really well. Okay, that probably concludes our departure briefing. If anyone thinks I've missed anything, please let me know. Otherwise, we'll go ahead now and get started. Okay, let's go ahead now. Lock up the aircraft. Say goodbye to everyone. Bye, 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 and bye. Is it Qantas yet? No, it's not Qantas. Oh well. Go ahead and get rid of, what do we got here? Ground handling. We'll just go and hide all. Through the magic of technology, everyone has vanished from around the aircraft. Go ahead and close. You're locked up, 3-5. Alrighty, let's go ahead now, guys, and jump into VR and get the hell out of here. So the quick mic change for us. Hopefully this mic's not too loud. I don't know about this one though. That departure threw me a little bit, but we'll see how we go. Hey Dart, welcome to the stream, buddy. You're just catching the crossover as we jump into the madness, which will be VR. Just give me a second, I'll see you all in just a tick. Okay, get my virtual hands here, come back to me, here we go. Welcome aboard. Okay, move VR, bring you guys in, there we go. Thanks, Con. I'll try and at least discuss it. You never know what other people pick up, and give me some good tips. Okay, on. Yes, okay, let's go. Before start checklist. So fuel is 7.88 as per the plan. The pumps are on. We've got less than, we've only got 100 kilos there in the center tank, so we're not going to worry about those for today. The passenger signs are on. Windows are locked on my side, locked on your side. The MCP, we've got V2 148 and 090 on the heading, which is me manually turning as we do that left-hand turn out of the departure. 12,000 feet set, VNAV set, heading select set for us. The CDU pre-flight, we've got V1 137, 139, 148, 148 set. That's the CDU pre-flight completed. The trim is free and 0. The taxi and takeoff briefing is completed to the line. Below the line, the flight deck door is closed and locked, and the anti-collision light is now on. That's the pre-flight checklist complete. One thing I didn't do was organise better pushback. Whoops. What do we got here? Can anyone see that? Where's that? All the way down the bottom. Better pushback. Pre-plan. Oh, God, that looks weird. I think we've got to just minimise this for a second. Sorry, guys. I've just got to do it like this for a sec.
Alright, Captain, got the directions. Let me know through the menu when you're ready.
Okay. We need to call him up, so we need to get going. Better pushback. Start the pushback. We're going to have a little sim freeze here just for a minute while it loads the model.
Great news, Captain. Your tow's coming.
Woohoo! Oh, I hope it's not an X5. Well, that guy driving his X5. Ah, here he comes. Watch out for the stairs, buddy. Oh, like a glove. Okay, good to go. Yep, totally. So nice here. X Enviro, which we're not running at the moment because we can't, because we're in VR.
Alright, looks like the doors and hatches are closed and we're ready to connect.
Here in Queenstown, absolutely amazing. Come on, buddy. I reckon they look good. Do you see the little blue light that's on it as well? It's like his little mouth. Oh, here comes this X5 driver again. Jesus. What a cowboy. What a cowboy.
Welcome aboard, Captain. Toes connected, bypass pins inserted.
Alrighty.
Go and kill the parking brake when you're ready to go.
Alrighty. Parking brake release, buddy. You're clear to push.
Here comes the pushback. Light them up.
Light them up. Okay, off the blocks at time 3:05. 15 minutes late. I think the time we had on the flight plan was 2:0. Okay, let's get going. So, off, starting 2, start the timer, let's get going. Okay, watching the N2 rise at 24, we introduce fuel. Here comes the oil pressure. Here comes the fuel. Keep a hand on the switch just to make sure we don't need to shut it down. The EGT is rising up nicely. Airport manager on their way. Good start. Start a cutout. And equally, that's a good start on to within 1 minute. Reset the clock. Starting 1, start the clock. We're looking for an engine stabilised within 60 seconds. Fuel coming in.
Just about done here. Go ahead and set your parking brake.
Parking brake set, buddy.
And we're disconnecting, so give me just a moment.
Okay, start a cutout. And looks like a good start on 1 within the time. Okay, let's go. Flaps 5 set. Control check. Watch your knees, guys. No, that's the terrain database. Disconnect, please. Yes, you're good. Yes, you're good. Good. Yes, you're good. On, off, on. Yes, yes.
And we're disconnected. Signal and pin on the left. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
Thanks, mate. See you, buddy. Okay, before taxi checklist, generators are on, probe heat is on, anti-ice not required, isolation valve is auto, engine start switches for this aircraft are auto, recalls checked, auto brake is RTO, engine start levers are idle, D10 flight controls have checked, and dispatch clearance, we're just waiting on the left. Thanks, asshole, is received. Let's get going. Okay, on, off, brakes released. We can go ahead and hide you. We are clear left and clear right. Let's go. I like your googly eyes. Thanks, mate. I like the googly eyes. Thanks, Steve. Okay, as we now taxi runway 23 in Queenstown. Josh very patiently waiting for us over there. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
Steve, the best option there is just to see if you can borrow a friend's headset for a couple of days and give it a shot. Diego45, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the channel, my friend. If you've got any questions, please shout out. Hey, another one. Steve, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to, buddy. Please, if you've got any questions or comments, get involved. Okay, we're just going to sit up here. This is the entrance to runway 05 and 23. We're just going to sit up here for a second and just hold the phone here for a second. We're just going to turn the TCAS on. Just check there's nothing coming down finals here into Queenstown that's going to bite us in the arse. It's looking pretty good. Austrian, hello buddy, welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing really well. No problem, you are the first VR simmer. Very cool. First VR streamer I've seen. Steve, no worries, buddy. I have been streaming for a little while. I think it's getting more and more popular. Hey. Road 777, also welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing really well. Welcome. Okay. And his name is John C. Hey. Nodapuck, thank you so much, buddy. Also welcome to the stream. Just waiting for the crew.
Have a good flight.
Okay, cabin secure. Before takeoff, checklist flaps are 5, green light. Stabilizer trim is 4.8 units set before takeoff, checklist complete. And it looks like there's nothing on the approach or the TCAS. We are clear on the right. It looks like we're clear over the bay and on the left. Let's get going. That is fucking hilarious. I had a whole bunch of people follow me all there at the same time. Alrighty, so the departure we're doing is a bit of a loop-de-loop here. After takeoff, we at 1600 feet, we're doing a left-hand turn, a left-hand orbit, and then intercepting the 214 radial outbound. Once we do that, 7.5, we then do a left-hand turn back to Queenstown VOR. Love the eyes. He's got a little blue mouth, can you see? A little blue mouth? What's it like flying with a touch controller? Do you use yoke or joystick? Steve, it's great. It does take a little bit of getting used to. I grab the yoke with my hands. I don't have a physical yoke. I've only got a physical set of rudder pedals. Oh, Mo Charlie, hey buddy, I've literally watched all your VR streams in post. I've never ever seen you live before. Oh, well buddy, welcome to the party. Thank you so much. Man, I can't wait for Vulcan. Yeah, they're talking about a 5 to 15% performance improvement for NVIDIA cards. That's going to be really, really nice. Yeah, Mo Charlie, good to see you, buddy. It's yeah, 5 to 15 is yeah. Hopefully it's closer to the 15. That'll be great. Okay. So we got to backtrack here. I always let's just say my 180 degree turns need work. I should have no excuse sitting here in VR. Yeah, that's right, Austrian. Then you can really load the sim up quite nicely. Let's turn that on. Yeah, see, Austrian, when we're talking about this sort of thing, you only, when we're talking about like in the Rift S, you only need 27 FPS. So if you can get to 27, when you talk about, oh, it's only an increase of 3 or 4 FPS, but if you only need 27, that's a pretty big amount. Alright, let's swing it, baby. Oh, the net gets a workout. Oh. Whew. Should have done my neck stretches before I did that turn. Okay.
Okay, so everyone's clear. After we take off at 1600 feet, we do a left-hand orbit. Then we come back out and intercept the radial 214 from Queenstown, and at 7,500 feet up, we then turn back again and come back to the over the top of Queenstown VOR. The only thing I don't like about sub 30 FPS, it doesn't feel as smooth as 45 to 60. Exactly right, Steve. There's a little bit, as you can tell, it's not quite as smooth, but it's still a pretty good amount. Okay, let's get going here, guys. So brakes on, up to 40%. Better ding the crew, let them know we're going. Fly full power, brakes remain on. Thrust set, brakes released. Okay guys, for those of you on the stream, I might be I'm not ignoring anyone, I'm just going to be a little bit busy just while we get this departure in hand.
80 knots.
And my throat gets really itchy, I've got an itchy eye as well. Great, exactly what we want. Excuse me.
E1, rotate. Positive rate.
Gear up. At 1600 feet we're doing a left turn. I'm going to turn into that frickin' mountain. We're going to go around that mountain.
1,000.
1600 feet, we would have hit that. I would have turned into that mountain there. Currently backtracking, no worries, buddy. Whoa, that was a bit of wind. Whoa. Oh, you just did this one, did you, Polar? The 5. Yeah. Bit gusty. I'm pretty sure it is, buddy. That would have, Mo Charlie, that would have been a bit interesting. Okay, let's keep the turn going. We don't want to roll out. Okay, pulling back, sure, no. There's Queenstown Airport, everyone. Got a few bumps here. Yeah, I think you're 100% right there, Con. I think you're right. Okay, well, outbound on that radial, but we can actually turn. We're over 7.5 now, so track outbound. Let's track direct to the waypoint. Hey Kevin, hey buddy, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Okay, there's our thrust acceleration and our thrust reduction and acceleration heights. Chart at or above 7. So we got there beforehand, very much beforehand, and we're about to intercept that out. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. So yeah, we're definitely not VNC anymore as we go through the acceleration through flaps 1. After takeoff, whoops, that's not what did I want to push that one? What's it going to do? Oh yeah, that's okay. Hey buddy, how are you, Yeats? Flaps up. After takeoff checklist. After takeoff checklist. Engine bleeds are on. Packs are auto. Landing gear is up and off. And flaps are up. No lights. After takeoff checklist complete. Okay, through 10, off with you, off with you. So, 212. So what we'll do is Command A, we'll go to heading mode. N1 heading mode VNAV speed, and then we can do our left-hand turn. Oh, yeets. Are you going to be flying X-plane and stuff? I don't know, 4K. I think 4K is a bit overkill for X-plane. Okay, let's do a left-hand turn. Whoops.
1,000 to go.
1,000 to go. Let's go all the way up. What are we going up to? 350. 350. Okay, so it's a left-hand turn. The box wanted us to go right. So left-hand turn direct for the VOR. Yeah, there you go, Austrian. That's a pretty good point. Yeah. Okay. There's transition standard. 13.4. Now check. Okay. Direct. Queenstown LNAV. I would have chosen a much higher monitor than the one I've got, but I stream, so I have to chop it down. I've got an ultra wide screen, and I actually have to chop it down for streaming to 1080p. And given that I fly X-Plane and a lot of other sims, I chose 1080p or 1440p, sorry, as my choice because of it. All that flying and you're still over the airport, yeah, mode. Yep, exactly right. I think it's just down here. Oh, look at that mountain. Look how good this looks. I love flying in and out of Queenstown. It's amazing. Yeah, the airport's just down here. There we go. There it is. Con, that was a really good idea of putting the fix in there to give me those, I guess that profile there, not to go beyond. Thanks, buddy, that was a really good tip. Better over the airport than over the mountain, that's true, Con. Very true. Okay, we're finally about to leave and be on our way. I think I'll leave the crew seated until we get through this next little cloud layer here. We're in the gap between the two layers at the moment, and when we punch through this stuff here, we'll then let the crew up, and then we'll look at letting the guests up. Yeah, Con, absolutely, mate, absolutely, top tip. Alrighty, say goodbye to Queenstown Airport, everyone. We've flown over it 3 times. That was a cool departure, though. It was really cool. I'm very, very glad that I set my thrust reduction and acceleration height to 7,500 feet. It would have been wrong to try and accelerate in that turn because we would have had a wider turn and we would have got pushed out as the further we accelerated. I already found that just maintaining 160 or whatever we were right on the out. We're right on the line of that those lines that Con set up, or suggested that I set up, and that was right within that sort of that 168 to 211 sort of arc there. So imagine using a quest or something and getting up and walking through the plane while it's flying. Yet I hadn't thought about that until now, and that's a bloody amazing idea. As long as you've got a long enough, I guess, hallway to walk down the cabin. Austrian, hey firm, you can post a link. Okay, let the crew up. And terrain coming off over to weather. Should we go ahead and, now that we're on our way, just jump down the back here real quick? Let's quickly just go jumping down the back. Whoops, that was the wrong button. Disregard that noise. As we climb out over the, as we come out of the cloud now. Can't see much of the ground. Hey mate, can't see much of the ground, eh? Hey? Rude prick. Oh, I can't see much of the ground, guys, sorry. Oh dear. Alrighty, we're through the cloud now. Let's let the packs up. There we go. We're letting the packs up. We might go jump out of VR now, guys. And so give me a sec, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, switch to a better mic. Let's bring you down, disable, and back to you. Cheers, everyone. You still do DCS Dart? It's funny you were saying, it's funny you asked that. I've actually just started getting back into DCS yesterday morning. I'm a little bit more proficient in the F-18 now. I've been flying a little bit through the Inferno server, and just didn't realise how much has changed. Even the F-18 has changed so much. A whole bunch of screens and stuff that I didn't even know existed and what they did, so Epic helped me out quite a bit. So slowly getting back into it. I've got the F-14 Tomcat. I need to very much lift my game and learn that really quickly. So yeah, looking forward to getting back into it, mate, slowly and surely. Diego 45, this is the Ultra Weather XP. Hey. You got a lot to read now. Yeah, there's a lot of information there, especially with those G-Sync monitors. Yeah, I have to relearn the harms. Yeah, the harms went in when they were... There's so much that's come into the Hornet. And we actually had a friendly fire accident because I think DCS switched the diamond and the square icons around or something like that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Tomcat. I really want to have someone jump in the back with me and complain about all my flying and my shit flying abilities. 2Max Guru, hello and welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing really well. Thank you so much for the follow. Oh, Polar and X-Plane crashed. What? How did X-Plane crash? What did you do? Ooh, I thought I turned that on. I must have bumped it.
And his name is John C.
Sandy, likewise to yourself, hello and welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing really well. If you've got any questions or comments, please shout out. Guys, while I do have everyone, how are the volume levels? I know that a couple of my previous streams, people have spoken about my low volume. How are you finding the volume levels on this stream? Are they okay? They mixed all right? Yeah, it's good. Awesome. Cool bananas. Alrighty, so let's have a little bit of a look here at our Navigraph chart software again. I am really enjoying the new version of Navigraph charts. Hey, do you do VR flights? Sandy, you must have just missed me. Affirm I do. This isn't the actual flight we want. Yeah, absolutely. I do all my flying in VR. It's just the cruise segment of the flight. When we get to, you know, sort of top of climb cruise, I can jump out of VR so we can talk and you guys can see me. But oh, VFR flights. Sorry, VFR flights. Sorry. I need my glasses. I do, Sandy Affirm. I'm keen to do a whole bunch of VFR flights very soon. Okay, unload. Okay, let's add a new flight. New flight. Submit flight plan. Queenstown to Wellington. There we go. Let's turn on the little... where are we? There we go. There we are. Queenstown to Wellington. Look how nice that looks. I really like the dark view here for the Navigraph maps. Okay, let's have a little bit of a look as we get closer here. Queenstown, open chart list. Is that what we want? Show visual overview. Okay. I guess it's going to be the warded 1 Delta or something like that. Hey, how are you guys doing? Hey, Dilu from ARG. Hello, welcome to the stream. We're just having a little bit of a looky-loo here at some of the arrivals we can expect into windy Wellington as we fly up the coast of NZ. I guess we're going via Ward D, 1D or 2D. I wonder what those guys are about. Let's have a little bit of a look at this chart real quick. So meter, and then I guess we jump on the approach somehow. What do we got from meter? The approach RNAV or ILS for 3-4. Let's have a look at the RNAV Zulu. Is that got from meter? No. The RMP 3-4 X-ray. Ah, there's meter. There we go. ZuzMTL. Totally probably stuffed up your name. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing really well. I've got a little dog here licking my feet. What are you doing, Mil? Mil? What are you doing, darling girl? Whoa. Come here and say hello. Do you want to say hello to everyone? Who's that? Who's that? Who are all those people? No? Who are all those people? Whoa. This is little Millie. She's my co-pilot. When nobody watches my stream, she steps in to be a co-pilot. She's only good if you feed her. She can only do good landings if you feed her treats. Is that right, Mel? Clearly just woken her up from down in the back alley. Right? No kisses. No kisses. Anyway, you okay? Yeah? Yeah? You smell a bit dodgy, Mel. You need a shower, I think. Pug! And her older brother, Charlie, is down here in his bed looking at me. He's like a bread roll. He's too heavy to lift up. Okay, level 350 for us as we level off. Okay, let's have a look. Let's close you. Arrivals. The 2B. What was the 2B? What did that look like? The 1D? What was the 1D? Go. There we go. Okay, the 1D is going further. It's going for the other side of the runway. Too heavy or you're too weak? Maybe a little from column A, maybe a little from column B. So I'm going to look at this arrival here. So I'm pretty sure it's not that guy. I'm pretty sure it's this guy here. We get to meter, and then from meter we can just go jump on the approach. So let's do that. Let's close you. Approaches, it's going to be the ILS from my 34. Add to route. But we want an arrival, which is going to be the one, the Ward 2C2B. Oh god. Ah, 5 Alpha. Looks like the 5 Alpha is the one for us. Add to route. 5 Alpha. Show chart as an overlay. That looks like it. So the 5 Alpha. Then we shoot, turn right. Umaga. And at Umaga we jump on the approach, which is the ILS for 3-4. Add to route. Show chart. And there's Umaga. Yep, so the approach, the arrival takes us this light blue, light green line, I guess, here to Umaga, and then we jump on the ILS for runway 34. Okay. Does that all make sense, everyone? Yeah? Departures, what we might do is we might just go into Avi tab now, clear out the charts that we've got for Queenstown, NZWN. Okay, airports, we want an airport information chart. We want a arrival chart. The Warren 5, what was it, 5 Alpha? 5 Alpha. Yep, and then we want the approach chart, which is the ILS chart, ILS DME, or localized DME for runway 34. It should be from Epgaba, or whatever it's called. Umaga, there we go. Perfect. Okay, so that all makes sense. So what I'll do, guys, is I'll just go ahead and get this plugged in now, nice and early. ILS for 3-4 from Umagna on the Wards 5 Alpha. Execute using reserve fuel, yes, because we're going to have to fix it up a little bit. Where is Wards? Wards is there, so if we get rid of this route discontinuity, just there, execute. Alrighty, let's go ahead. Did that clear out? 3, 6. Yeah. 350. Yeah. Don't know why my cruise got eaten there. This is a bug that's recent in the latest, or the later patches of Zibo. Every now and again your cruise level gets eaten. If you ever see like plus 6,000 feet above on your end display there, just go to your cruise page and just check your cruise number in there. If you don't, it won't let you set the cruise you're currently flying at, so I set it to 1,000 feet above, and then it'll then allow me to set it to the actual cruise I'm at. Seems to be a little bug or a little workaround to put into the Zibo here at the moment. Okay, let's just go ahead now and fact check our arrival. So step through till we get to Wards. So Wards, we got Wards here, and then from Wards it's off to Opdocs at 6,000 or above, which we've got. Then it's to Salty, it's 5,000 or above, and then it's up to down to Meter at 7,000 or below at 220 knots and below, which we've got set there. Then it's to Jonah at 3,000 feet or above, and then it's to Umaga at 190 at which will be at 187 at 2,000 feet or above for the start of the ILS. Looking pretty good, and then we should get onto the ILS, and we should see boot in, and then the start of the ILS there. Awesome. Okay, let's go ahead now and get the rest of the aircraft configured for our arrival. 1123. We'll set that there. 1099. 109 decimal 9. What have we got? 1123, 1123, set there, flip you over. We'll receive on number 2. We don't need to receive on number 1. Back to you. Haven't picked it up yet. 341 on the course. My dogs just playing with each other. 341 on that side. Course 341. 341 on that side. Missed approach is 300. 300 is set. The elevation 24, we'll leave it as 0. And we're off on the right. Okay. With that in, what's it going to land? 5.2. 63.7. If my maths is any good, 63.7. Chuck you in there. Flaps 40. Actually, before we make that decision, let's just go ahead and check the weather. NZWM. So what I'm doing right now, guys, is just going to get the latest weather for Wellington. We are on a 737-800, which the standard configuration for landing for the company that I work for is flaps 40, unless you've got windy, quite gusty conditions, and then we prefer to do a flaps 30 landing. And that's with flaps 40, it is quite a flat approach. With all that flap out, you do have quite a level angle of attack as you come in. With gusty conditions with flaps 40, you tend to do a lot of nosing down, and it can get a bit unstable. Having flaps 30 allows us to have a slightly higher angle of attack and try and maintain less sort of nose down, negative pitch on the approach. And it is very much the same as what we thought. So the weather there at the moment, 020 at 21 knots, gusting 31 knots. So we will go for a flaps 30 and we'll do +7 down the approach, give us a little bit more fat as we go down there. Flaps 30 and then 7. Okay. So, okay, around about 150. Forward down the approach. Okay, cool. Well, the sun is starting to set here. I did forget to have that on for our departure. The sun is starting to set here in New Zealand. At least the weather's starting to clear up. I do, I hear some dogs getting into mischief. Let me be right back, guys. Let me just check my dogs aren't destroying my house. I'll see you all in just a couple of minutes. Where did X-Plane go? Where did X-Plane go? Hello, X-Plane? X-Plane ain't there. I think we did. I think we crashed. What happened? What happened, log? X-Plane has crashed because of plugin XPLN plugin X-Plane. What is so? That's just X-Plane crashing, right? What the hell is the go with that? Yeah, right. Well, that's kind of annoying. That's an X-Plane crash, isn't it? I kind of feel like I didn't completely trust. I should have closed X-Plane when we reloaded. So we flew Melbourne to Canberra, and then I loaded the airplane over in Queenstown. And I feel like I should have closed the sim and reopened it and not changed countries. I feel like I had a feeling in the back of my mind that I should have done that and not just. And I thought, no, I'll wing it. I'll see how the sim goes. Yeah, I should have done it like that. 2 crash, yeah, it's not our day for X-Plane, that's for sure. So yeah, rule of thumb, don't change countries and then start flying. No, Dart, there's not an autosave for the Zibo. I wish we would really get one. Enough with the de-icing trucks and stuff. They need to build some functionality into Zibo that we could kind of use, because unfortunately that doesn't work. You know, we could just reloaded it and continued on, but alas, no. So yeah, rule of thumb, don't change countries and fly on. Close the sim down and reload the sim into the country or the place that you're flying. De-icing trucks in a game that doesn't have any snow. That's yeah, that's pretty much the be all and end all. You know, everyone's getting crashes and X-Plane here and there. Why don't we just build that into Zibo to round it off quite nicely? The TBM has it. I've used it before in the TBM. I don't get crashes very often, so it is a bit unusual. But yeah, rule of thumb, if you're going to change country, close the sim down and reload the sim and start the sim back up and load it into the country that you want to fly in. Don't do what I did, and I moved the aircraft to Queenstown in the same sort of sim session. I thought that that wasn't going to work for me, and I think I was proven right. So yeah, well that doesn't allow me any more time to do some flying, because I've got to walk the dogs and I've got a couple of appointments this afternoon, which is really disappointing. Well, we got 1.5 flights together, everyone. Well, I've never had the sim crash like that. Yeah. Either I haven't had a sim crash for a long time, not in the Zibo anyway. So definitely sounds like me pulling it to a different country and then flying is a bit of a pain in the ass. Oh well, there will be more. So let's talk about the flight coming up. So 2.5 flights tomorrow. Yeah, Australia, that's how it's going to work. So let's talk about tomorrow. So it's Sunday here in Australia. So this time tomorrow, we'll kick off a VATSIM online event for Milk Run Mondays, where we'll be flying online in VATSIM during around Melbourne to Sydney. We might jump in something like the TBM. We'll get out of a jet, maybe fly the TBM or something like that. Or even if you guys want it, the Zibo, we can jump back in the Zibo and do some flying around the southern east corner of Australia. And do some flying tomorrow night live on stream. So we will be back tomorrow for a stream as well. To everyone who came onto the stream or seen me for the first time and followed today, welcome. I hope you really enjoyed yourself. Yeah, good old X-Plane strikes again, eh? It's one of those things, unfortunately. Anyway, thank you all so much for the love and support. I hope you enjoyed the flight, and we'll see you all again really soon. Bye for now.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks, don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit, I'm out.